I got healthy, got wealthy, and even got wise. That sweet Kangen water open up my eyes, satisfying for the body, gratifying for the mind. Kangen water for the rest of my life. Kangen water quenches your thirst. Kangen water feeds your soul. Kangen water inspiring your dreams. Kangen water for the rest of my life. Let's unify with Chi spirit. Kangen water will set you free. Let's unify with Chi spirit. Kangen water will set you free. Let's unify with Chi spirit. Let's follow Mr. O philosophy. Look within 'cause you wanna win. Join the Kangen Nation. Kangen Nation, we're everywhere. All around the world, water we share. Changing one life at a time. With compassion for mankind. Well, I love you so you gotta know. Hope you don't mind me preaching.
Hey, sisters and brothers, I have a new sponsor, my friends Gary and Marilou from alkalinewatersogood.com. They are international Kangen water distributors. Kangen water is delicious water created from Enagic's innovative water technology. Enagic is a 56-year-old Japanese company with 40 offices in 23 countries, including an office in Manila and 8 offices in the U.S., and it is the leading manufacturer of alkaline ionizers and water filtration machines in the world. Not only do these devices filter your tap water, but they also produce ionized alkaline and acidic waters through electrolysis. These waters can be used for various purposes, including drinking, cooking, beauty, and cleaning. Can you imagine never buying bottled water again? The plastic in bottled water often contains BPA and other chemicals which are proven to be hazardous to your health. And how much fun is it lugging cases of it from the market, recycling it, and you know, plastic is an environmental nightmare. According to Gary, it's also a great way to add an additional income stream. He's been selling machines for over 12 years internationally, and everyone needs the healthiest water in the world. So folks, if you have any questions about Kangen water, check out their website at alkalinewatersogood.com. That's alkalinewatersogood.com. Or you can email them at gary@garyballin.com.
You're listening to the Wolf's Den Radio Show. Talk.
Sisters and brothers, welcome once again to another episode of WDRS Talk, the Wolf's Den Radio Show Talk. This is your friend and host, Wolf Hemora. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining me for another episode, another great conversation with a friend of mine. And thank you for your continued support. Please spread the word about this podcast. I've done, this is the episode 20, and I have done 20 great interviews, and you shouldn't miss out. If you haven't heard the other episodes, please do check them out. They're great conversations and great people and great artists that you can learn from. We can all learn from. So anyway, thank you again for the support. And I just want to invite you to please subscribe to all the channels that you're listening to this on, because when you subscribe to a channel, it always helps that channel. And one really good way to show support is to subscribe. So if you're listening to this on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. You have to click subscribe, that's all, and you'll get fresh updates, fresh episodes as soon as they come out of the oven, freshly baked. And also on Spotify, give it a follow, as well as Apple Podcasts. And another way that you can show support for the show is to actually make a donation. And you can do that on the Anchor.fm website, and it's also an app. You go to the page of WDRS, and you can actually make a donation. And it is always appreciated. That donation will always help the production of the show, and of course, it's just great if you can donate something that you believe in and show support to it. And it's always appreciated, as I said. Thank you very much again, sisters and brothers. And I've really got some really good interviews coming up. And this one is one of them. The last interview was with with Charlie Y of The Breed. So if you haven't heard that one yet, go ahead and listen. And then episode before that was also a great one from with Chikoy Pura of The Jerks. So please, if you haven't heard the past episodes, you are really missing out, and it's going to be fun listening to it. Don't be intimidated by the length of the episode, because me and whoever I was talking to, we didn't notice the time pass really quickly, because the conversations were good. So I don't think you'll be bored. So please don't be intimidated by the lengthy episodes. It seems to be long, but it's you'll be fine. You'll be fine. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, get your vaccine if you haven't gotten a vaccine yet and you are eligible. Go and do it. If you gotta pay for it, fucking pay for it. Just get it done. That's it. What else? Shit. I don't want to talk too much politics, because there's so many things happening in politics again, and it just never ends. So we'll just skip that part. Anyway, today's episode 20, or episode 21, I think. Episode 21. Let's do it at episode 21 to be sure. I've been making mistakes of the episodes because I don't check it before I do this thing. So please forgive me for that. But anyway, yeah, episode 21, and it's going to be with a good friend of mine here in California. His name is Tolitz Rosel. Everybody calls him Tolitz, and he also has a podcast called Pinoy Rock Podcast. And please check it out on Spotify. After you listen to this, go and check him out. And he does a really good job. His DJ name is DJ Tulisan. And please do check his podcast out, as well as other Filipino podcasts like Paco's Place and, of course, Pinoy Rock Podcast. I'm not sure about the others because I don't know if there are any others. And if there are any others, please refer them to me so I can check them out as well. Aside from that, so what do we talk about? We pretty much nerd out on the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League, the movie. And I've seen it. I'm watching it again for the third time now. And I started it again, and every time I watch it, it just gets better and better, because then, you can appreciate the production more when you're not anticipating what's coming up next, because you already know what happens next, so you have more time to analyze. If you're into that, if you like analyzing movies or whatever, if you're a film critic yourself, then it's a more enjoyable thing. And I am experiencing a more enjoyable experience with every consequential viewing of Zack Snyder's Justice League. I'm just gonna point out a couple of opinions, but because the interview itself is gonna be loaded with opinions about it, and we do talk about DC Universe and Marvel Universe, which I am a fan of both. I'm not creating division here, but I have to say, and Tolitz also says this in the interview, that DC, we're a lot of our older people, or people in their 40s and 50s and whatnot, and older, I guess, are closer to the DC characters because DC is much older than Marvel. And the X-Men did not come until, I'm not sure, but the Justice League was formed way before the Avengers or the X-Men. So, but that's about it. I enjoyed all the Avengers movies. I enjoyed the X-Men movies back in the 2000s. Wolverine was so badass, and but yeah. My opinion with the Zack Snyder Cut is that Zack Snyder must be the one to direct every DC movie from now on. That's where I stand, and I'm sure a lot. I'm not the only one, man. I'm not the only one who thinks this, because Josh Whedon, who took over directing duties, because if you don't know the story, Zack Snyder's daughter very unfortunately committed suicide. And so if you watch the Zack Snyder Cut, there's going to be a dedication at the end for Autumn. That was her name, Autumn. And yeah, it's very sad. So he had to quit the job. And Josh Whedon, who is the director of the Avengers movies, took over. So now that's why the Justice League movie, the first cut, the Josh Whedon cut, looks like an Avengers movie, and it's not supposed to be like that. DC is dark. The DC universe is dark. The color schemes of their movies are dark. And once they change that, even in the first run of the Batman movies, Michael Keaton was so dark. Val Kilmer kind of lightened it up a bit, and by the time it was George Clooney, even though George Clooney was a good Batman in my opinion, the writing was bad. There was Arnold Schwarzenegger was in there, Jim Carrey was in there. They didn't, it was just in Filipino terms, it became Baduy. And I didn't even watch Batman and Robin. I mean, yeah, thinking about it now, it's like, yeah, ugh, yuck. So anyway, that's it, So Zack Snyder, the people in Warner Brothers, you gotta stop meddling with the DC universe, because you guys obviously don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're talking about. You're not fans. You're not comic book fans of DC, especially of DC. So why not give it to a really badass director who is an actual fan, and just let him do it, man. Just let him do it, because the Zack Snyder Justice League, we're not gonna know how much it made because it's on HBO Max. If you have a subscription to HBO, then you can watch it. You don't pay a ticket price for it, so they can't really tell. But you know what? It's the fans. The fans are probably hashtagging like crazy. And if you want to get into it, hashtag save the Snyder universe, or release the Snyder universe is the hashtag, I think. Or hashtag free the Snyder universe. That's the hashtag. If you want to hashtag that, get on Twitter and get in on the action and tell people from Warner Brothers to get their heads out of their ass and let Zack Snyder direct every single DC movie from now on. And I'll tell you that DC will stand alone with fucking its own identity and apart from Marvel, because they have to have separate identities, man. You cannot compare the two. They're not comparable. So it's hard to compare. You can just contrast and actually look for the similarities while looking at the contrast of both worlds. Because the Marvel world is very colorful and the DC world is dark, man. And the fans of DC like it that way, man. It's like comparing Red Hot Chili Peppers. If you want Red Hot Chili Peppers, go watch the Chili Peppers. But if you want to watch Metallica, if you want the dark stuff, or even darker than Metallica, let's say, Black Sabbath, go listen to Black Sabbath. Both bands are great, but both bands cannot play each other's music because it doesn't fit. They have very distinct styles and images and musical and sonic qualities. Very different. So it's the same with Marvel and DC. Both are great. Both are great. Both are great universes. Both have awesome superheroes and characters, but they're not the same. So that's where I stand. So hashtag free the Snyder universe. Go do it now. And enjoy the episode. My good friend Tolitz Rosel, a.k.a. DJ Tulisan. And here we go. It's going to be nerd talk all the way. So enjoy this one. WDRS talk. And this is Wolf Himara. Enjoy.
So, DJ Tulisan, Tolitz, my good friend from America. Yeah, my friend. It's thank you for joining me, by the way, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
DJ Tulisan, I love it, man. It's I don't remember how we met. Do you remember?
I remember we met at
Oh wait, I just want to. Sorry, I just want to just tell the audience that Tolitz here became a friend of mine here in the States already. So this is how we got together, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me here at it's Wolf's Den, right?
Yeah.
Wolf's Den. There we go. Okay, it's an awesome show. So thank you very much for inviting me. I think we first met at Zen Sushi. I think that was during the Lokomotiv days. That was, I think, 2003, 2004, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, that was long. That was a long time because a friend of mine, invited me and said, check out the Philippine bands over here at Zen Sushi. And I went there, and I said, and then the first one that I saw was David Aguirre, and near the door, I said, oh, okay, there's like a legendary Philippine musicians here in this bar, huh?
Yeah.
And then I saw Basti. Okay, this is these are more famous people. And then I saw you.
Mm-hmm.
I said, oh God, because I was a very big fan of Wolfgang back in the Philippines, when I was in college. So I said, oh, this is great. It's a good thing. And then I didn't know that you guys were playing.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that the band Lokomotiv, that was the first time I encountered band Lokomotiv. And then after the show, after your performance, I introduced myself. And then I think it's the typical Filipino reaction wherein you try to do Deadma, you try to be indifferent or try to be aloof.
Yeah, or cool.
Because you're trying to pretend that you're not starstruck. That's the typical.
Yeah, I know. I know the feeling, man. I know that, man.
Yeah, and then I introduced myself to you, and then I think Dennis Santarinala was the one who was managing your website.
Oh, right.
And that's who
Dennis.
I actually talk, and that's the time he recruited me to managing the site for Lokomotiv. So after that, I've been meeting you guys more often.
That's right.
Every day, yeah.
My gosh.
That's how
I mean,
met.
the internet at that time for me was still so complicated.
I know.
We needed help from Dennis and you to, it's like now, if you know how to do WordPress, you can make your own website.
Exactly. Yeah. Anyone can do a website now.
Anyone can do a website now.
Yeah. It's actually sad because I was a web designer by trade during that time, and
Right,
that pretty much I lost my job because of that innovation. No one wants me to do their websites anymore because why do I pay you if I can do it myself? Man?
Itself, yeah. So how was that? Was that a quick thing that happened, or was it gradual?
What do you mean?
When you started losing those kinds of work?
It's because I was mainly I was creating pages for most of my clients were nurses. I mean, not nurses, but medical people who want to put their resume and their work online as like a digital calling card, pretty much.
Right. Yeah.
So, and then I think it was around 2008 when the word the blogging in architecture started becoming more popular.
Mm-hmm.
So after then, people were learning how to make their own web pages, and web designers we charge an arm and a leg during that.
Yeah, you do, man. You did.
An arm and a leg. You have like a 3-page website, and we charge you like 100 to.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it was really a specialized. Specialized ability.
Yes, it's a specialized skill that because you have to know the languages. But nowadays, you don't even need to know the language. It's WYSIWYG. Everything is like drag and drop. Everything is if you just type it in,
paste.
you just format it, and then it's a web page. So
it's like the what you call that? The code is already pre-written for you.
Yes.
You just have to copy and paste it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you type something, the code generates itself, but you don't see the code anymore. It's like typing in Microsoft Word.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
wow! It doesn't even show up anymore.
No, it doesn't show up anymore.
Oh, wow.
Unless it's an option for those who know the code.
Yeah.
So by 2010, I was no longer creating web pages because nobody, my clientele pretty much disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
because nobody was asking me to do it anymore, and then I had to go with another profession.
It's very I find it amazing or not amazing, but it's like when you see something like that happen in front of your eyes, and in your case, your life was affected. Your life changed because of it, because technology changed. Your life actually changed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same thing with everything else. The things that people take for granted right now, like phones, computers. I mean, even if I was actually assembling computers during that time as well. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, it's cheaper to buy a pre-made computer than having someone make it.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of people nowadays buy their own computers, buy their own laptops, and nowadays nobody even uses computers anymore. They use tablets and
tablets.
Phones. Yeah. So that industry also disappeared slowly. The computer assembling business and everything. So,
that's right.
Everything. Life evolves. People learn more stuff, and then the people who usually do the stuff before, they get they have to evolve as well.
Yeah, they have to evolve as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like on to the next because everyone else, because eventually everyone else will get it. I mean, it's just that your abilities, your skills, or your brain was more adapted to it at the time than most of us.
Exactly.
Because to us, it was like, oh my God, how? For me personally, I was so intimidated. It's like, how? Oh, I can't. I don't know. Then I started learning layers and all of that, and then you start learning, and you're like, okay, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But before Photoshop was available on on for everybody,
yes, now
it was really
well, it's like this one, like videos, for example, like video editing. Video editing was nobody was doing any video editing during that time because of course the YouTube was still in its infancy. There's no there's no sites like StreamYard or things like where you automatically put your video. You have to pre-format it, edit it, and then upload it.
Yeah.
So now it's easy because the technology is already there. Anyone can use it.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's like what technology is and how humans treat it. It's like on to the next. We figured this out. Is there any more figuring out with this certain thing with the tablet? Does it get more? Can we do something with the tablet even more?
Yeah,
Or
I'm sure. Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure there is, but it's like also it's like, or maybe we can start doing something else. So it's just I mean, it's just the evolving mind of humans.
Yes. Yeah,
And then of course the masses will pick it up, just as long as they're they have their tools at that certain age that they can understand what all of this shit is.
yeah, yeah.
Of course, if you're undereducated, then of course it'll still be rocket science to you. But
Yeah, the wonderful thing about that is a lot of people have the desire, the passion to do this. For example, we have a lot of fledgling podcasters who are really, really good right now. But if you don't offer them the technology, they won't be where they are right now.
yeah,
So it opens up their skill
yeah,
in something, by making it easier for them to actually.
dude, that's me. I am
Yes,
the perfect
exactly, yeah.
example.
I was gonna say, you're one of the examples. You have a lot of interesting things to say. You have a lot of good music to play, but without the technology, you won't be able to, realize it.
Dude, I mean, it's like before the live streaming through Mixcloud and stuff like this, where I do the talk show. I mean, last year or 2 years ago, these things were not available yet.
No.
2 years ago, right? So I did not know how to. It's like I was still applying to be an actual DJ in an actual radio station, like the local college radio station here in my area, because I really wanted to do what I'm doing right now.
Exactly.
And with these two tools, StreamYard and Mixcloud, and even Skype, I'm creating my dreams. It's like, or the dreams in my head are becoming reality through my own. I don't have to rely on anything. Except
that's what it does.
Yeah.
Ironically, when I first came to the United States, I was applying for Los Angeles Times and LA Weekly to write, because that's what I do in the Philippines. I was writing, but I couldn't get in because they were requesting people to be employed who have English as a first language. That's their hard. That's their hard requirement.
Yeah.
But with the advent of blogging, you are now able to write something and then promote it to people as if you were writing in a real publication. And right now, people read blogs more than they read newspapers now.
Yes.
So
and that's why
technology evolved it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the phenomenon of fake news.
Yes, exactly.
Because there is so much shit. It's
that's the cons of that pros, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you have a really good skill at web design, you could put up a legit looking website and have your whatever agenda you want to put out there on it.
Yes.
Of course, if you see some of these websites, they're like, oh my God, they're really bad. The graphics are bad. The grammar is bad. You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Man, how does this guy expect followers? It's like, dude, it's like, but then if you present that same thing, but with the look of maybe Apple, an Apple website, then that's a different story,
Yeah, and the thing is, it's a template. It's a template that you can choose now. You don't have to make it. You just, put the template up and then put the text, and it looks like that.
It looks like that. So now that because I'm a fan of concert posters, especially the psychedelic looking ones, that you see in Amoeba Records.
Oh, yeah.
I love that stuff, man.
Ones, yeah.
I dude, if I won the lotto, I'd buy all of those and buy a big mansion and put it all in the mansion, pare. But it's like handmade art nowadays is really valuable. Especially if you are not a young person who did not grow up with actual art.
Yeah, those 60s, 70s style posters,
Yeah, but hand drawn and hand paint and what do you call that?
Brushed
silk screen.
Silk screen. Oh,
silk screen. So there are layers of colors on that thing.
Yeah.
That's a lost art, but it's still alive.
Well,
Because
yeah, that's the sad thing is Photoshop has filters
yeah,
that emulate that effect, which it's good because it makes the work fast, but it again, it's a lost art because people no longer know how to do it manually. Because you can just use filters
right.
to achieve the same effect. Yeah.
I mean, even on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, the photo filters on there. I mean, if you can, the pictures now that you see online on social media, pictures that are amateur taken, you can really tell who has an eye for a picture because there are filters already.
Yeah.
Now it's up to the actual picture, and some, and people who I follow, even my friends, are like, "Whoa, that's a good shot." Of course, you play around with the filter, but the shot itself is good.
Yes,
Because
yes.
they have an eye, and then of course you have other people who have shots where like, "Oh my god,"
That's the good. That's the good thing about that because people who have talent, who know how to frame a picture, who know how to shoot it at a specific way, no matter even for someone who doesn't have that, no amount of filter will make your picture as good as the ones who actually have it. You can't pass yourself off as a talented artist if you don't even know how to frame a picture, if you can't even center a picture.
it's like kunyari here, like in the side.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
face.
Or you cut off people's heads, or things like that.
That's why me when I on social media, I hardly have any selfies because I'm not a selfie kind of guy. But if I see an opportunity, it's like if I have shades, like I have one shot that I played with the filters, and it was an accident. I was wearing my sunglasses, and then I just happened to see myself in the window of the car window, and then the sun was reflecting on the sunglasses. So right there, like, oh, that's a good picture. So I took a selfie.
Yeah.
That's when I take selfies, when it's like trippy and shit.
Yeah.
And, then I
if there's a potential for a good picture, why not take it, right?
yeah, right, yeah. So what was, you said that when you first came here, what was your American journey, pare? How did you because you obviously you're a Filipino fan of Wolfgang Razorback in that era.
Yeah.
Who obviously migrated here. So what was your story back there? I mean, how did you know us? What was it like for you when we came out?
I first listened to Wolfgang. I can still remember when it was.
Yeah, but wait, sorry. I really like when I interview quote unquote fans or whatever. I really like listening to stories like this. I'm really interested of.
Oh, that's good. Thank you.
Because I'm a fan myself. So I have my own stories of hearing, I don't know why, Dancing with Myself of Billy Idol. When I was in high school, I'm interested in knowing why, how.
Well, I started out because I was a musician in the 80s in the new wave era because I'm a keyboardist.
Okay.
So, my mind was full of OMD for Lippo Lippi, The Cure, Simple Minds, bands like that.
Yeah.
And then when I went to college, it was the transition from new wave to grunge, and then and hair metal. That's the good transition. I think that was the late 80s to early 90s. Right. So when I was in college, I was big into it. I was exposed to hair metal, and I loved Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue. I love bands like that. And then when Pearl Jam came out, I was also doing, this is a unique kind of voice. Okay, so I like this. Pearl Jam. Now a classmate of mine was I could still remember it because I was walking down.
So wait, all this music you were hearing on the radio?
On the radio because I couldn't afford CDs or
right. Yeah.
I just borrowed. Yeah. So in college, I think I was in a second year college. I think that was 1991, 1992. A friend of mine was showing off the CD. It says it's Wolfgang. I said, okay. What kind of band is that? Oh, it's rock. It's good. It's cool, man. You should listen to it. So the first thing that came to my mind is it's an art band because Wolfgang, the name Wolfgang, the name of a classic composer. So that it might be an art band, And I've listened to a little Dream Theater, like Iron Maiden during that time. So I consider those almost artsy type of music.
Okay.
So, and then I listened to it. And then the first thing is, oh crap! Like when I listened to Basti's voice on Arise, I said, okay, this is I didn't know. I had to look. Are these people Filipino? Because I had to look. Because the sound was really Western, so Western, and it was so different. Because the only exposure I had for Philippine bands was Juan de la Cruz, Sampaguita, and that was like my dad's bands during that time. So
your dad was a rock. Your dad was a rocker.
Yeah, my dad played in a combo. He played. He's a guitarist. Yeah.
Oh, nice. All right.
Yeah. So they play.
You grew up with music. You always.
My dad hides his music. He doesn't play in the house.
Oh my gosh.
He plays out. Yeah, he plays in clubs, but he doesn't play in the house.
Oh, secret identity.
Because he doesn't want to influence his children to devil music.
Oh my God. But it got you anyway, man.
Yeah, it got me. Because I was seeing his old cassettes. These old cassettes, I don't know what bands these are. This Led Zeppelin, Uriah Heep. I said,
oh my gosh.
The Who. I said, I don't know who these bands are.
Yeah.
So I just ignored it. But again, going back to college, and then I listened to that first CD by Wolfgang, the self-titled CD. And I was asking my friend, are there any other bands that sound like this? Because I like this. I like this a lot, Because I wasn't listening to LE 105. That's why I wasn't exposed to.
Okay.
To Darkness Spell. Yeah. So Darkness Spell was your demo. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I never listened to that. My first exposure to Wolfgang was the CD.
Oh, okay.
So he gave me the Heavy Got Hits by Razorback. Yeah. So I said, okay, I love this. I love this music, man. So So my first cassette were actually my first cassettes were actually Wolfgang, Razorback, and Backdraft.
Backdraft.
Yeah, Backdraft. Yeah, those are the bands. Yeah, exactly.
Dude, that guy's voice, man.
Yeah, because
Benedict.
these are three different sounding bands, but they have the same, sensibility when it comes to music.
Yeah.
Like Kick-Ass, No Apologies, just. So that's how I got exposed to Wolfgang, and I had that was 1991, 1990, and then fast forward when I came to the United States, I wanted to collect. Because I only got like cassettes from the first and second albums by Wolfgang. Semenalin was the second one. So I went to Tatak Filipino, and when they were still selling
Tatak
Philippines. Yeah. And that's where that's when I completed my Wolfgang CD set up to Black Mantra.
Oh, wow.
That's where I
So
completed.
when did you come to the States?
I came here in 1997.
Oh, wow. That early, huh?
Yeah, 1996. I graduated college in 1996. I worked for 1 year at the Philippine Daily Inquirer. I worked at Philippine Daily Inquirer, and then I taught La Salle Das Marinas. I taught for like one semester.
Oh my gosh! Wow,
I taught English.
dude.
I taught English.
Good. This guy's a heavy fucking heavyweight, dude.
Yeah. So when I went to 1997, I only brought my cassettes, and then I said, I wanted more. I wasn't able to afford during that time.
1997. That was just the start, man.
Yes, I know.
That was just the start.
I know. Yeah.
There was like 97. There was like 5 more years of action, man.
And I followed. There was this old Yahoo groups for Wolfgang that I followed. There was a Yahoo groups for Wolfgang and Yahoo groups for the Dawn.
Right.
Those are the 2 Yahoo groups that I followed religiously. And that's when they told me, because I was asking, does anyone have any CDs by Wolfgang? I said, dude, you're in California, right? Check Tatak Filipino in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
That's where I went. That's where I bought. I think that's where I bought Worm, where I bought Serve in Silence, and then where I bought Black Mantra. That's those 3 CDs.
Did you get any Razorback in Tatak Filipino?
Yeah. I got Beggars. I got the was it
Beggars Moon?
Yeah, Beggars Moon, and then the other album,
Star.
Yeah, there we go. Those 2 albums I got from there.
Yeah, Star is high up. That album is high up.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and then I also bought
go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I also bought what do you call this? Razorheads and Rizal Underground over there. Because I was like splurging. I was just splurging, man, because these are the CDs that I never got to own. So when I had my first job, that's where I spent most of my paycheck on.
Shit.
Just CDs, man.
But that was all good music, man. That was all that era, 95 to 2000. That's like the peak. That's like the creative peak of everybody. Not just Wolfgang or Razor, but everybody.
I agree,
everybody. Man. There were these bands, there were these young bands that were given deals, amateur. They were amateur bands, but they had cool songs. Like did you ever come across the band Weed?
Weed, yes, Weed.
Yeah, long hair.
Yeah. No, I have to admit,
the long hair ko.
Yeah.
Pare, di ba?
Wolfgang opened up the horizon for me, and then that made me listen to NU107, and then after that LA105. Right. That's where I started hearing these bands. I never got to buy their albums because I never got to buy any albums during that time because I just listened to the radio or copied like a mixtapes.
Yeah.
That back then. So
wow.
I heard all of this. I heard of Shackle. I heard of Ballet.
Shackle.
I heard of of course, our good friend Glenn with Teeth. Glenn was actually in LaSalle. I think he enrolled there for like a year or like a semester for something. And that's where I actually got to know Glenn Jacinto. But
in LaSalle.
But he doesn't remember that.
Okay.
He was playing in dorms. He was playing the early versions of Lak Lak.
Oh, okay.
During that time, and then
those times were different for him, pare,
Yeah, exactly.
They were very different for him. He's much better now, of course, but totally different time for him that time. So yeah, man, I love hearing stories like that, dude. So did you continue collecting CD albums from that era?
All the way up to 2003, 2004, I think, because that's the time Napster became popular. And then you no longer because like any other
just get it, man.
Yeah, like any other penniless Filipino who's like budgeting himself. If you can download and listen to something, why spend like up to $40, $50, even $100 for media, physical media.
Yeah.
So I was one of those people. And
I'm one of those people, man.
Of course, yeah. So that's the time I started. That's the time I stopped actively collecting CDs.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, same here. Me too. I mean, oh my God. When I first came here to the States, man, 2002, I was like, Tower Records was still around, man.
Exactly, yeah. I was there.
My God.
All the way until they closed. I was there.
Dude, man. I had every afternoon, I would just go to Tower Records because there was one near my house. And it was beautiful. It was huge. It was a big space, Here in Orange County, everything's big, because there's so much space.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So it was like a department store of music, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so wonderful. This is so wonderful.
Yeah, it was heaven. It was Mecca for me.
Yeah, it was
when I go there.
and that same building, that same structure. It wasn't a building. There was. You remember the Good Guys?
Yes.
The sound system guys.
Is this the one in Marina Del Rey?
No, this is in Laguna Hills in Ocean.
Because they also had like a Good Guys. Well, not really. Yeah,
Good Guys Tower thingy.
Yeah.
I think it was a thing back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I would go to Tower Records, and of course they had the CD stations. You'd be like listening to CDs all afternoon.
Yeah.
And then I would go to Good Guys, and then ask the guy, "Hey, can I sample? Can I just sample? I just want to hang out." So you test their sound system. It sounds like awesome sound in there. And of course now that it's gone, and then the Tower Records in Hollywood, man, it's small, but oh my God, it's so cool in there.
Yeah.
It's so cool, man. The character of that Tower Records in Hollywood. I really feel lucky and fortunate that I got to see it.
Yeah, me too.
You know,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah. It was one of those. It was, I think, the nearest thing that reminds me to it, but still not up to level, is Amoeba Records. It's like
Yeah,
when you
well,
go.
but
Yeah, but it's not the same
it's
thing.
not the
It's not
same.
the
It's
same
not the
feeling
same.
when you go. But that's the nearest one that I feel whenever I try to remind myself of
Right,
Power
right.
Records. When I go to Amoeba Records, okay, this
Yeah.
is good, almost as good, but not the same. Yeah.
Not the same. It's not the same vibe because it's like I always compare it. It's like Amoeba Records is like Home Depot, while Tower Records in Hollywood, because it was small. It was a small store. It is like a mom and pop, hardware store.
Brick and mortar. Yeah.
Yeah, brick and mortar hardware store. And sometimes the brick and mortar store is really cool, man. I like stuff like that. Like family business.
Yeah, that's it. That's true, yeah.
Something like that. So that's how I saw Tower Records in Hollywood. I mean, I love Amoeba Records. It's like there was one time I was in Amoeba Records and I got so overwhelmed. I'm like, I gotta get out of here
exactly.
because I don't know what I want. I want to get so much. I mean, my basket was full. I'm like, I can't spend all this money.
Yeah.
So it's like all or nothing. So I just decided nothing. I got out of there.
Yeah.
Come back another time, dude.
Suck it up and get out.
Yeah, dude. So anyway, cool, man. Thanks for that story, dude. That's
No problem. Yeah.
I really like listening to stuff like that, man. Because like I said, I'm the same way.
And my story is not atypical. A lot of people share my story when it comes to because I'm a musician myself. Some of the music that I play is also influenced by everything I heard in the 90s.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a big influence to a lot of musicians here in the United States, especially the Filipino ones, because it's new music. It's something that connects to them, and it's something that they try to expose as well in their own music.
Yeah, man. And we actually got to play the same show right before the lockdown. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Jerry's Grill.
Yes, exactly. With the melodies. Yeah.
Yeah, I played with the melodies, and then Paco played with you, right?
No, that was that was another one. Yeah,
I think it was Robin. He played with Robin.
Yeah, Robin.
Yeah.
He played with Robin. Yeah.
Who was in your band? I remember knowing somebody in your band.
It was B Torres.
Yeah, see Earl.
Yeah, see Earl B Torres.
Yeah.
He was part of the band. I think.
Yeah, he's a good drummer, man.
Oh yeah. He's one of the best drummers I see here in Los Angeles. And then I think I'm trying to remember who my band lineup was during that time because it kind of fluctuates depending on the gig.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Chick was there. I think our bassist was Michael Salvador or something. Yeah. Those are because we're like we're a 4-piece on that one. So yeah, so those are the members I have.
Nice. So I haven't seen you in a year.
Me neither. I haven't played in a year, man. That was one of our last gigs. I think that was the third to the last gig that we had, and I think we last played second week of March.
Yeah, that was my last gig.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was a good gig. I liked it.
It was a very good gig. Yeah. Nice lineup.
Yeah. So anyway, the reason why I asked you right away to guest on here was because of that post that I made the other day about Marvel and DC.
Oh yeah, regarding the Snyder Cut.
Of course, I have been corrected, and I stand corrected on some points. But what? So my thing is that did you see the Zack Snyder Justice League already?
3 times, man.
3 times.
3 times.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Every time I'm doing something, but I sometimes skip to part 3.
Okay.
On the repeated viewings because that's where the action is. But every time I'm doing something mundane, like something like, for example, I'm fixing something, it's playing in the TV. And then I stop. When there's action scenes, I stop, watch it. And then when the action scenes stop, I continue doing what I'm doing.
Oh, okay.
That's how I love it, man. It's a great movie, man.
Isn't it awesome, dude?
Oh yes, it is. Yeah,
It's fucking high up, pare. I didn't know it was 4 hours, and then when I checked the, when
Yeah.
when you check the forward play whatever thing, it's like 4 hours. Oh shit!
Yeah.
I gotta get stoned for this. And it's like,
I actually had to set aside time because I knew beforehand that it was 4 hours, and this is going to be a time investment. I can't just like any other movie where you just watch it and then sleep when you're done. You have to set aside 4 hours because
I passed out, dude. I passed out, man. It was because the slow moments, spoiler alert. If you haven't seen this yet,
spoiler alert. If you
spoiler alert. Lois Lane and Superman are magjowa. Okay,
of course. Medyo alam na. They probably not.
So anyway, there were a lot of moments like that. A lot of Lois and Clark romantic moments, and it was kind of slow. So I would fast forward that because I saw it already in the other cut.
Yeah. Of course.
So I'm like, but somehow I don't know. It was just I think I fell asleep right before the big
battle.
The big battle in the end.
Oh.
Right before that. So I made it a point to sit through it, and then when I went through it, the end, I'm like, wow, this movie.
Yeah.
Hayop.
It actually gets better with second viewing because at first viewing,
I think I'll do that
because
later.
it's so slow. You're anticipating that the whole movie would be this slow.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of anxiety when you're watching it.
Yeah.
But on a repeated viewing, you know that this is gonna get better.
Yeah.
You already anticipate that it's gonna get the action is gonna go in, and everything. That's why it's better actually on a second viewing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, my comment is that I mentioned that the DC characters have all these childhood traumas that affects them every time.
Yeah.
All the time. It affects them all the time. Their decisions are all based on those traumas,
Exactly. Yeah.
And somehow I can see it, yes, and then I compared it to Marvel characters.
I read that. Yeah.
And
then a lot of people were commenting, well, that's not true. Marvel has a
yeah. Of course, yeah, I get that, and I stand corrected on some points. But like Thor, and then there was a comment on Thor being looked down by Zeus. His not being favored by his father or whatever the case is.
Yes,
it's like, okay, yeah, I get, okay, that's a trauma too, but it's like the traumas of a child seeing their parents shot,
killed,
like Bruce Wayne.
I'm gonna give you a comparison of Marvel and DC after you're done.
Okay, let me just I'll just finish this thought. So that was my thing, and but my real point there is somehow in the movies, and especially with the Zack Snyder cut. Those traumas are, I don't know. I don't know. Personally, I can feel it, knowing that that Clark Kent is an orphan.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne is an orphan.
Yeah.
The Flash, his dad is in prison. He has no mom. Cyborg, his mom died. He almost died. So, and then Wonder Woman, she doesn't have any trauma. She's just she's an Amazon, so she's always badass. She always feels, she's always badass. So I mean, that's why it's like their badassery comes from that pain, is what I'm trying to say. And somehow in the Marvel movies, it doesn't show. For me, I don't feel it as much as the DC. Of course, there are examples like even back in the Wolverine movies, that era of Logan.
Yeah.
I couldn't feel it, man. I couldn't feel the pain because I just wanted to see fucking Wolverine.
Yeah.
I didn't. Maybe it's because I didn't care about.
I was gonna say that you don't care.
I didn't care.
Where they got it. you only care that they have it and you want to see it.
Yeah, I just wanted because at that time it was the thing, man. They were making all these badass superhero movies, especially Marvel. And you're like, oh my God, damn. So somehow it just slips my mind. Okay, Wolverine has his issues too. I mean, Logan has his issues too, but I don't know. Maybe also because I grew up more a DC kid than a Marvel kid. Because Marvel came in a little later too. And
DC was ripping it in the cinemas since Superman.
Yeah, since the first Superman, yeah.
Since the first Superman, since the late 70s.
Right.
They've been ripping it in the cinema. So, and then for the 70s, 80s, and 90s, it was all DC.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much all DC. The only, I don't know which Marvel movie was
all the Batman movies, yeah.
Yeah, well, because I know Spider-Man movies came in the 2000s.
Yeah.
That's the first big Marvel movie, the Spider-Man movie.
That's right.
But everything else, it was DC all the way.
It was DC, yeah.
It was DC
but
all
it
the
was
way.
Marvel that used the CGI, like, because it's Spider-Man, I mean,
yes,
dude,
they came in at the right time when the CG is already matured.
It was matured, yeah. It wasn't still Avatar had come out already, so people are like, okay, we got to make it better than that.
Yeah.
That's the bar. You got to make it better than that.
Yeah.
So that was my thought. It was like somehow I couldn't feel it, especially like in a series like Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, there's so much comedy in there that somehow whatever issues they have, if there are any. I mean, of course, the lady Gamora is the daughter of fucking
Thanos. Yeah.
Thanos. That's a big issue right there.
Yeah.
But somehow I don't know, man. It's weird. So
because
your thoughts, man.
Yeah, no, because you were on the right track on that one because you had the feeling that DC is darker, but you have it there, but you just can't express. It's like something you want to express, like it's something in your mind that you feel that is right, but you just can't properly express it.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that you're trying to express is the backstories for DC, for example. Superman is the last fucking person in his race.
Yeah.
He's an orphan and he's alone.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't know where he fits in. He's trying to help people, but it's a thankless job for him. So people don't appreciate what he's doing.
Yeah.
Because he's too powerful, because it's the curse of omnipotence for him.
Yeah.
Because he's so powerful, people think of him as a god and they don't think of him as a person.
Yeah.
And that's his depression. That's his problem. Always thinking that he's always alone. That whatever he's doing. That's
right?
a hard feeling, man. That's
oh my God, that's a hard feeling.
People have been driven to taking their lives because of that thought.
Yeah, man.
That no one understands where they're coming from. And that's what I understand ever since I started reading and watching Superman. That's his conundrum. He's like a very tragic figure because, his mom and dad, his whole people died, in a flash. And then he's raised up, he was adopted, raised up by parents who love him, but he doesn't feel that connection because he's not human.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. That's Superman. Now, Batman is harsh. He saw his parents killed in front of him.
Fuck.
that's like it's his strength of character made him a superhero and not someone who's in a mental asylum.
Yeah,
because of that one. That traumatizes a person. He didn't become a criminal because of that. He focused his focus is revenge. To not have everyone experience the same thing that he had. That's why he's so passionate about criminals and everything.
Right.
And then, God, there's a lot of DC characters that have really bad backstories now. So, Flash had his
I have
mother,
no idea. I have no idea who Flash is, man.
Flash, his mother was killed.
Oh,
his mother was murdered, and they accused his dad of killing his mother.
Oh, that's why he's in prison.
That's why he's in prison.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
that's fucked up,
Yeah.
man.
So he didn't know who killed his mother, and now he knows his dad was not the one who killed his mother, but he had to endure visiting him in prison, and then his dad, so that's why he's Flash actually started out as some kind of a robber or something, so he just was doing like a little misdemeanors and everything because he was trying to, because he was trying to like, just make things work and everything.
Right.
So those are three characters from DC who have really dark backgrounds. Now let's contrast to Marvel. Iron Man. No. Before I say anything else, I would like to say that I love both Marvel and DC.
Oh yeah, me too. Man.
I grew up with both of them. That's why, even though I gravitate to DC more because I've seen them longer. That's the only reason. I've seen them longer since I was a kid than Marvel. Yeah. Now, it doesn't mean that I don't like the other. Now, Marvel, Iron Man has first world problems.
Yeah,
right? He's a rich, his parents were killed, but he wasn't there. He just found out about it.
How were they killed?
They were killed by, if you follow the MCU canon, they were killed by the Winter Soldier.
Bucky?
When he was still bad. Bucky, yeah, when he was still bad.
When he was still bad.
Programmed, yeah, when he was still programmed. They were killed.
And Bucky is the same age as Captain America, right?
Yes, he's 106.
Oh my God.
So he was there since his parents were, since he was a teenager, he was already alive. So his parents were killed, but that's the only trauma that I know about Iron Man, that his parents were killed. His in the comic, it's actually ironic. That's why I love the MCU when they did this. Iron Man was not the most popular or not the most interesting character in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Spider-Man was. The Incredible Hulk was.
Yeah.
Those were the more popular ones, but just the story and the actor that portrayed Iron Man just elevated him.
And the suit. And the suit.
Of course, yeah.
That suit.
Yes, exactly.
Because if you look back at the early Iron Man, any Iron Man on the comics, he looks cool, but then you don't see before the movies, we never saw what it should look like.
No, there was no. I think there was only one TV series that had Iron Man in it, and it was really bad. Like it had Thor in it as well, and Thor looked like a Viking, things like that.
Yeah, Thor looked like a Viking.
Yeah. So he was not the best Marvel character to start with, but he was the only one that's readily available to the MCU. Because no one wanted to make a movie out of Iron Man. So he was free, he was cheap. So they made a movie out of Marvel about Iron Man. And it turned out really well because of Robert Downey Jr. It turned out because of Robert Downey Jr. He's the main reason why Iron Man is really good.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
No other actor could play Tony Stark.
Yes. And because of that, MCU said, if we could turn this humdrum character, the one that nobody really liked, into a really good one, then let's exercise that formula with the other Marvel property that we have.
Yeah.
You have to understand that the MCU or Disney during that time, they didn't own the rights to Incredible Hulk and Spider-Man, two of the most popular franchises that they had. They didn't own it, so they can't make movies out of them.
Oh.
They can only make movies.
Marvel still own them.
No. I think Sony owns Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
And Universal owns Incredible Hulk.
The Hulk.
Yeah. So the studio who was doing it, Marvel Studios, couldn't use those characters because they were under license.
Right.
So they had to make do with Iron Man, Thor, Captain America.
Oh my God, I didn't know that, man.
Yeah, those are the three major ones that they had, and they chose awesome actors. And they chose. Yeah. That's the thing that Marvel has over DC. They have better writers. They have much better writers.
They have better writers, man. Yeah. They have better writers.
Mm-hmm. And that's the only reason. And then going back to their backstories, again, Thor is kind of like Iron Man. He's first world problems. He's a god. He's a god, and his problem was he was arrogant. He was a piece of bread. He was a jerk. Yeah,
because he was a mama's boy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He didn't think highly of anyone who's not a god or who's not one of his friends.
Yeah, that's what Thor is. I mean, he's mayabang.
Yeah.
That's the thing when I read Thor. It's like, oh my God, this
Yeah.
guy's so mayabang. But
Yeah.
but, of
So
course, but yet again, they cast the perfect actor for Thor.
exactly. Yeah.
Especially when it was Fat Thor. Oh my God. Oh, that was just
Fat Thor,
hilarious,
yeah,
dude. That was
was
hilarious, dude.
Yeah, that was original. That was original material that was not taken from the comic.
Yeah. See now. See there it is. So and even let's say even during the credits of the past Avengers movies, when after the credits a scene comes out and it's like them eating McDonald's,
Shawarma.
or shawarma. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's all
they're
these
eating shawarma.
outtakes or whatever. Or so that's why that takes away from the darkness from Marvel.
Yeah. If there was any dark Marvel character, it would be Black Widow. She had a very dark past. It would be Spider-Man. His uncle was killed.
Yeah.
But those were characters.
With Spider-Man, see Uncle Ben. That it's such a tragedy, man. Even when you think about it, Uncle Ben, man. You know it, Uncle Ben. It's not just
father figure. Yeah,
it's not just the uncle of Peter Parker. No, Uncle Ben. People know it's Uncle Ben. So, but then Peter Parker is a teenager. So it's like, yes, there is that tragedy, but he has his whole life to still develop and blossom and kind of put that in the back pocket and not let it drive.
His Uncle Ben was already old during that time.
Yeah.
And it was not really like, he was an uncle, not really like a not really like a Batman or Superman, wherein their parents are the ones.
He was just he was a grand.
He was an uncle. Yeah. And then the thing is, with the comics, they didn't really delve with. This is ironic. I'm going to explain this. The difference between DC and Marvel, I think I posted it on your thread, is that Marvel concentrates on self improvement, self development, self evolution. They concentrate on how to make themselves better.
Okay.
In their future, like for example, Iron Man got rid of his narcissism and his so he started to care about how his weapons are affecting.
Oh right, yeah.
So he changed that.
Oh yeah, then, that's right. Yeah.
Thor is arrogance and ignorance and everything.
Then he became Fat Thor.
Became Fat Thor. Yeah. So and then Captain America was had this inferiority complex because of how small he was before the super soldiers. Yeah. So they had to deal with their own improvement, their own emotions in order for them to become better people. Now let's transition to DC. The difference is these are gods. These are not human people. These are not humans. Most of the people in DC are gods.
Yeah.
So they go macro. They don't go micro. They go macro. They try to find out ways in order to improve the world.
Yeah.
They don't really concentrate on themselves too much, even though they are the ones with the biggest burden to carry.
Yeah.
That's why they still carry this darkness all the way, because they don't really address it as much because they're too busy
saving the world.
Taking care of the world, taking care of the people. Yeah. And if you'll notice, I don't know if you notice, but in any Marvel film, you could count the times when they save people.
Yeah, actually,
right?
Yeah,
you'll notice that.
Yeah,
the only thing, the parts that they save people is Spider-Man mostly. It's not in the MCU.
Oh yeah, because that's part of his thing.
Yeah,
he'll swoop in
Iron Man never really saved except the war. He took part in the war, but it wasn't like Superman wearing taking like a cat from a tree, things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but if you go to DC, that's almost everything you'll see.
Yeah.
Them saving people. Saving the world.
They are gods.
Yeah, they're gods. They have to save
gods
the
and
world.
aliens. Yeah.
All their actions influence the world. So that's why they have to save the world. Marvel, they don't need to, the world is not really their top priority themselves.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, right? So that's what you observe.
I've never thought of it that way.
Yeah, so that's my observation every time I watch a new Marvel movie, because I look for that. Okay, how many times did Iron Man save someone in Iron Man 2? No, not. How
He
about
just
Iron Man
blew
3?
he blew everything up. That's
Everything,
all he did.
yeah. He takes part. It's like he's taking part in the big things, but not really the small things.
Yeah.
As opposed to, let's say, Superman was saving people from a burning building, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Saving one person
Oh,
from a
yeah.
burning building.
Yeah. Or saving a lady who was mugged.
Yeah, things
That's
like that.
Batman. Yeah.
Same thing with Spider. Yeah, that's Batman. Flash is also getting a bag back from someone who robbed it from a lady.
Yeah.
Those are superhero feats that they do on a regular basis, right? But you don't see that too much in the MCU.
No.
I mean, I haven't seen any instance wherein Thor saved anyone. It's always like macro for him. It's always like anything. He ignores the small things and just focuses on the big things.
Yeah.
Right. So
Not
those
even,
are
not even not even Black Panther.
no, not even Black Panther, not even
Not
Ant-Man.
even Black Panther, yeah.
Not even Ant-Man.
Not even Ant-Man. Yeah.
Not even Captain Marvel.
Yeah, they're not the everyday superhero. Pare.
Yes, exactly.
Where DC, they're the everyday superhero. That's why people love them. Pare.
They're the OG type superheroes.
Right. That's right. Yeah,
They're the OG. You know? That's
because
the
they are much older than
Yes.
than Marvel characters,
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are much
Yeah.
older. Yeah. So that's the difference between those two. That's why it tends to get darker with DC because they got the whole world on their shoulders.
Yeah. It's like
So they try
it's like the passion of the Christ.
Yes.
Because Jesus has that burden all the whole time,
Because they never get to grips with their own problems because they're too busy taking care of
Right.
other people's problems. That's why it gets too dark. That's why Batman never really got to address his own like problems from when
Yeah, he was busy
he's
inventing
always
all of this.
carrying it.
Yeah.
And even though even though Superman has Lois Lane, he still feels alone.
He still feels alone.
He still feels alone.
Yeah, and you can feel and I think they picked a great actress to play Lois Lane. Gosh, what's her name?
That was Amy Adams.
Amy Adams, yeah. Because you can really feel that when they're together in their acting. You can feel it na, they're in love, but somehow Clark is just like, we're not the same.
His interest is not 100% honor.
It's
like
not 100%. There's that.
It's the same thing with Batman. When he talks to anyone, it's almost like he's disconnected.
That's right. Yeah.
Because they never got to. That's the bad thing. Because they never got to come in terms with their own problems when they were kids. See, I mean, I don't know. There are a lot of comics junkies because if the people who just casually watch these movies know what's actually happening in the comics, they'll be really excited for the future movies.
Oh wow!
I mean, spoiler alert: the one that Flash did at the end, where he turned back time just to save them.
Yeah,
that's a plot point from a series called Flashpoint, wherein he goes back into the past to save his mother.
Wow,
it's a comic book storyline.
It's a Flash.
It's a Flash story.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're gonna be making in the upcoming Flash movie. That's why I'm excited because if they make that Flashpoint, because when he goes into the past to save his mother, again, it's one of the things that in his past that he hasn't come to terms with.
Yeah,
that's why he still wants to save his mother.
Yeah,
right. He hasn't moved on,
and he's gonna try because he can. Yeah, because he already turned back time. So
yes. So when he saves his mother in the past, there's a shockwave. It's a butterfly effect.
Yeah.
Everything that we know about DC changed.
Shit.
Yeah. So one hint is remember Bruce Wayne's parents were killed.
Yeah.
In the new timeline, it wasn't his parents who were killed. It was him that was killed.
Oh shit! So no Batman.
The next Batman became Thomas Wayne, and his mother became crazy of grief and became the Joker.
Thomas Wayne is the dad.
Thomas Wayne is the dad. He became the Batman in the new timeline.
And then how Joker did he become? Because Bruce Wayne died.
Because Bruce Wayne
became
died.
the Batman.
Yeah, so that he could avenge his son.
And then the mom,
and then the wife went crazy went crazy and
She became the Joker.
went into the asylum and became the Joker.
Oh my God.
See, that's just one timeline,
Dude,
So that's why I'm excited.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
And
Flashpoint.
man-
That's part of Flashpoint. That's why I'm
They
excited
have-
about the upcoming storyline.
They have to get Zack Snyder to do all of this.
Yeah.
Man.
Because it's not
Screw
it's not
Josh Whedon. I'm sorry, but no, man. Wonder Woman 2 was crap. It was
it's
so
no
long.
accident. Yeah, it's no accident that they cast the original Batman, Mr. Keaton, Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
They cast him in the Flash movie to be Batman. So he's gonna be Thomas Wayne.
Also, he's playing Thomas Wayne. And
He's
because it's the
probably
new
was-
timeline.
Yes, the new timeline. Because that's Flashpoint. Yeah, that's Flashpoint.
Oh my
And
God.
Superman,
But then-
Superman, instead of landing in Smallville, he landed in Metropolis, and the government kept him in a cell. So there was no Superman in that new timeline.
Holy shit.
So mind blown, right? So that's just
Oh
one
my
of,
God, dude.
so that's just one of the. Those are spoilers, but those are just parts of Flashpoint that I'm looking forward to. I really hope that they do a movie out of that, because that's one of the singular. It's not quite their Infinity War for DC, but
Yeah.
it's very close. It's a very it changes a lot of things. It's a reset.
Right, man.
It's a reset.
And that's what DC needs. It needs to be it needs some shaking up.
Yes.
Because right now it's just the Super Friends. I mean, where else can you go from there? The Super
That's
Friends.
what they got
yun eh.
known for. Yeah.
It's the Justice League. It's already established. Okay, maybe another movie, Justice League, but you have to have individual movies again,
Yes.
so that when you make another Justice League, it's stronger than ever. That's why. That's why by the time it was Avengers Endgame, it was just unbelievable already. It was
Because
just
it's
like,
so rich. There's like 22 movies to build it up.
yeah. And by the time the big battle in the end, you're like, it's like epic, It's like, and you feel it because all the characters are there. You're invested in whoever they are, and then you see 4 different Iron Mans, and
Exactly.
it's cool, man. The Marvel universe has its coolness factor, and so does DC.
They really have better writers. They plan the story beforehand. It's a 10, 11 year story.
Yeah,
So they planned it beforehand, and they made deals with the actors
Yeah.
to lock them in the next 2 to 3 movies.
yeah,
That's what they did. That's why there's continuity. The only thing that changed was Incredible Hulk, because it was Peter Norton before,
yeah.
but it got replaced by Mark Ruffalo. He's
Yeah.
the Hulk.
I think he's better as
he's a better when it comes to emotions and everything.
Yeah.
He's better, yeah.
especially with the new Hulk.
Yes.
It's him, man.
Smart Hulk.
Smart Hulk.
Smart Hulk, yeah. That was
So-
also in the comics, yeah. Smart Hulk.
Oh wow, okay, man. I mean,
And
then
in DC, they didn't invest on continuity. They just kept remaking the
they
story.
kept remaking the story. It was like, come on, man. We already know what Wonder Woman can do.
Yeah.
That's what the thing with the Wonder Woman too. It's like I saw this already. Where's the invisible plane, pare? I mean, it was there, but it's just like
I don't know. I mean,
it's
I
like
don't know.
think
I don't know about the people who love Wonder Woman 1984, but I really didn't like that movie.
the second one you
The
talk
second
about.
one, I didn't
Yeah,
like-
it was
I
too
didn't like
long.
that movie.
I
And
passed out there too.
And then
But
just the
because it
story.
was it was 1 hour too long.
Mm.
There's so many things that didn't make not really sense, but it was like why are we going through this dialogue? It sucks, pare. Whoever wrote this
It does,
doesn't know how to write dialogue, man.
Very bad. Very bad.
So-
Badly written story. Yeah. Mm.
And that's why so many people want Zack Snyder and his wife to do this, because they know it. It's like how Peter Jackson and his team was with the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's the difference. Peter Jackson loved the book.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder loved the comics.
Yeah.
That's why his movie is almost fan service for comic book fans.
Of course. Because he's a
That's what
fan.
doing. Yeah. So that's why it's good to have fans do the movie that you want. Things like that.
Yeah, because all of those small things are there in this in that battle scene with the gods.
Yes, yes.
Oh my god! I won't
one of
spoil it for anyone, but
yeah,
oh
one of the
my God.
original Green Lanterns was there.
original. Oh,
One of
was
the
he?
original-
Is that the original?
He's
Green
one of
Lantern?
the original Green Lanterns. Yeah.
Wow. So
And even
so
there are like little places there where any places like little hints for comic book fans. Like there's a scene where in the future nightmare where in a Superman, I mean I don't want to describe it, but there are like little pieces there that are like little Easter eggs for comic book fans.
okay.
That's why the people love it, because especially the comic book fans.
Yeah.
They love the Zack Snyder because I know that. Oh God, why did you put it in? I know that. Things like that.
Yeah. So, but even for me who didn't know, it's like, hey, that's a Green Lantern, but it's not, the American
Yeah.
Green Lantern.
Al
you
Jordan,
know?
yeah, not Jordan.
And then, of course, we spoiler alert, cover your ears. We witnessed the death of that Green Lantern.
Yes. Mhm.
So it's like,
exactly. And he did
it's-
die. It just a different way in the comics. He did die.
okay, yeah. So and then you had spoiler alert, and then you had Zeus and Ares and the
Amazon.
Archer, the
Amazon. I know that's
and then all the humans,
Artemis. That's
Artemis.
yeah, I think that's Artemis. Yeah.
and then you had the Amazons, and then the what the
Atlanteans.
the what?
Atlanteans from Atlantis.
Atlanteans. There you go. Atlanteans. Thank you.
Mhm.
And then the humans, the
So it's almost like the first scene of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, man.
They're battling, like Sauron. That's
the
what they were
best.
doing. Yeah.
I love those, dude. I love those battle scenes, those classic,
And
like
that's why the
Ben-Hur battle
DC films, the DC films are supposed to be epic because these are gods. These are real gods.
Yeah.
And then
We tend to forget that they are gods.
they are gods. Even Darkseid, the main antagonist, he's a new god. He's a god. He's one of the
So-
new gods.
Okay.
The ones who took over from the old ones, like Zeus and everything. So that's why
Oh, really?
if they ever get to fight Darkseid, see, I mean, there are like almost 4 armies that had to go in to beat one person.
Yeah.
Imagine if it's just the Justice League. They're gonna
Yeah.
have a hard time beating that guy.
So that's why. And then you have all of these other DC characters that you can develop. Why just stick to the 5?
Yeah.
And then you can actually, I mean, if you're talking about Iron Man with that suit, I mean, you can make a damn good movie with Cyborg.
Yeah.
Because that, I don't know.
That's another thing. That's another thing that I like about the Zack Snyder cut. They I mean, unbeknownst to a lot of people, they removed the Cyborg storyline because they have this thing that they don't want a movie to be led by an angry black man.
Yeah, man. So stupid.
That's
So
why. It's a stupid way to
crappy.
remove, and he's the core of the movie.
yeah, and he's kind of popular now because he's been on social media calling that out,
Yeah,
that he wasn't treated well, and it's like it's like he doesn't want to do it anymore. If it's Josh Whedon,
he's only gonna do it if it's Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder, yeah, and that actor is perfect for Cyborg, man.
Yes,
I think
and he did a good job. It's
he did a good job. And I when I saw, and then that's the thing, the Zack Snyder cut really gave time for Flash and Cyborg for their characters to develop for the audience. That's the one thing. It's like, okay, now I get it. Because before the Josh Whedon cut, Flash was just like comedy relief, man.
Yes, that's what
It's
they
like, what's
wanted him
this?
to do. Yeah.
I was like, what's this, man? This is Justice League. Why is there comedy relief? This is not Marvel. Marvel does the comedy relief, man.
Well, because Josh Whedon directed the Avengers, so he's trying to turn it into the Avengers movie.
Yeah, but it's not.
right.
It doesn't work, man. It doesn't work. I don't know. It doesn't work for me. But then, since Zack Snyder developed the character more, then you understand the sense of humor of that character. Then you get it. Okay. It's not comedy relief. He's really like that. He's really a smart ass who was always a side comment, you know.
And the thing I love about that is because these two people, Flash and Cyborg, didn't have their own standalone movie. That's why they're not fleshed. That's why the original film didn't do well, because people didn't know about these two unless you're like a hardcore DC fan. You don't know about Cyborg. You only know about Flash because of the TV series that's on WB or MC.
And the costumes that people use in Halloween.
So you only know about that, but you don't know their backstory, especially Cyborg. Cyborg's backstory was you can see that's a tragic backstory, and he lost his dad as well.
He lost his dad as well. Yeah.
So all of this stems from parental tragedies.
Yeah,
pretty much.
And I loved how they extended that. How his dad saw him in the hospital and said, "No, I gotta do something. I can't." And the mere fact that they showed how the mom died.
Yeah.
That was big. It's like, okay, he's not just the token black guy anymore.
He's not just an angry black guy. Yeah.
He's not just an angry black guy. He lost his mom. He's a fucking cyborg. I'd be pissed too, man.
Yeah, he should have died, but he was raised up, and he's not even human anymore. So
imagine
there's a lot
this.
of
I don't know. I don't know if this has been explained in the DC world, but does cyborg get aroused when he sees a beautiful woman?
No,
right?
Half of his body's no longer human.
Yeah, but then does it? I mean, but he has still a human brain, right?
Yeah.
Or no more.
He still has a human brain, but no longer human emotions. So I mean, in the comics.
So if you go by the comics, then he's not an angry black guy.
Nope. That's why it's ironic.
He's a cyborg.
It's ironic that they cut him for a reason that's not supposed to be applicable anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Why don't you just let the guy act like a cyborg?
Yes, exactly.
And then have, I don't know. And then, since everyone knows the backstory already, his mom's death and all that, and his father's death, you don't have to explain that anymore.
No.
So now he can just be a cold motherfucker.
Yeah, that's why I think part 4, part 5 was when it started really good, because you no longer have to worry about why these characters are doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
You already know why. Especially Cyborg. You already know why. And then you already know why because Flash explained. They didn't explain that because Flash explained the Speed Force wherein it's forbidden for him to do some things because it's forbidden for him to turn back time. So one of the things he was explaining, Flash. Because when he goes faster than the speed of light, he turns back time. And
it's
that's
forbidden by who?
Forbidden. No, it's forbidden in the Speed Force. It's like something that he knows is forbidden because I think he tried it before and it had bad consequences.
Oh, okay.
But he says it's forbidden, but he does it anyway in the end because it blew up. Everyone died during that time, and the Flash was protected by the Speed Force. That's why he wasn't affected. Then that's why he tried to explain, because it's actually a very awkward way of explaining it. Before he was running, but he explained what he was doing and why he was doing it.
Yeah,
so that's an explanation.
I have to watch the movie again.
Watch it, because he's trying. Okay, this is forbidden, but I have to do it. So
okay.
So he runs, and then everything is turning back. So that's why there's the land that was destroyed is reforming in his feet.
Yeah.
And then the flesh from Cyborg and Superman are reforming because he's turning back time.
Yeah.
Up to the point where he needs to touch Cyborg. So the special abilities of these two are the ones that saved the Justice League.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's pretty much
they were the heroes in this cut.
Yeah, they were the central figures.
You know why? You know what it is, man. Because the actor that plays Flash, he's gay.
Oh yeah.
So I'm sure, man.
A gay and a black man. Okay.
And a gay and a black guy, a gay guy and a black guy save the Justice League. Is there?
I guess it could be interpreted as a subliminal.
I mean,
something. Yeah.
I mean, it's very suspect, but that's why the Zack Snyder cut.
That's why it worked for me.
That's why it worked for everybody.
That's why it worked because there are still some people who are complaining that people are just nitpicking about things because these are the Marvel fanboys who can't accept that there's a DC movie that's better than
That's 4 hours long.
Marvel. Yeah, that's better. That 4 hour long DC movie that's better than many Marvel movies.
Yeah.
So
I mean, even the look, even the lighting, the look, the color schemes.
That's complete Zack Snyder because of
Zack
300.
Snyder.
He started
Ooh.
at 300, man. That look.
300.
Yeah, he's the one who. He's the one who made
That's
it.
Zack Snyder pala. Yeah,
He's the one who made it. That's why that
man.
look, that Zack Snyder look, is in all of his films. Pretty
Man.
much.
See, that's why. See, when he did 300, and then because I saw the graphic novel after I watched the movie, and I go, wow, Zack Snyder fucking translated it into film, pare.
Yeah,
exactly like the
Good
comic.
at that. Yeah, he's good at
Oh
it.
my god! So now I'm like, fuck, this guy has to do DC. He has to do every DC movie, man. If they want to really make money for a very long time. Bro, you got Superman, you got Batman, you got Wonder Woman, you have
Which
the
are
potential.
still Superman and Batman are still the biggest comic book properties in the world, man.
They are still the biggest.
Yeah.
Iron Man is cool, but
It's not, none of the Marvel properties are as big. The closest that could go it is Spider-Man, but that's it. But he's not even close to Superman.
Yeah. So look at this. Look at the potential of Cyborg. A Cyborg movie is there's so much potential because you already have the Iron Man movies to work off of,
Yes.
and just what would Cyborg do that Iron Man can't do? Because Cyborg and Iron Man, they're two different things. Cyborg is half human, half computer, and then Iron Man is a computer suit.
Yeah, computerized suit, yeah.
It's just a suit, I mean, it's the suit that's doing most of the work. Whereas with Cyborg,
See, that's
it's
why
him. And you see his face. That's with Iron Man, there's still the mask, and then they cut to Robert Downey's face. But when you see Cyborg in these dramatic moments, you see the guy, you see his face. So it's a little bit more personal.
One thing I have to point out is when you made that comparison between Iron Man and Cyborg, I posted a reply where actually the more apt description, the more apt comparison would be Iron Man and Batman, because they're both billionaires. They both have tech.
They're both human.
They're both human. They both don't have any powers.
Yeah.
But they make their opulence, their riches work for them.
Yeah.
By fighting crime. More on Spider-Man than Iron Man. I mean, more on Batman.
Batman.
Than Iron Man. But they're actually more comparable to each other because they have the same characteristics. It's just that Batman wears a suit with tech, while Iron Man wears a suit that is tech.
Yeah. God, that suit, the Iron Man suit, man.
Yeah, the Iron Man suit.
if that was a real thing, man.
Well, yeah. If you watch Iron Man 2, you could see all of his suits.
Oh
flying
yeah,
out.
my favorite is the silver one, the all silver, the chrome. Oh, dude.
Yeah, that was
Oh my God, so smooth. I mean, even the suit of his wife. That was pretty badass too.
Hey, he made it prior to him. Rejoining. That was the helmet, right? Remember the helmet that was holding?
Right.
That he said that it was part of a birthday gift.
Oh,
That was his birthday gift. Before the blip,
Yeah.
That was his birthday gift, so.
So anyway, going back to like Flash, like how they made the Spider-Man movies exciting.
Yeah.
You can do the same thing with Flash, dude.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
Exact same thing.
It's the exact same thing. It's like why does he have to just run on the fucking ground? He can go anywhere he wants. He can turn back time. He can run on a fucking wall, man.
Yeah. And he describes it on the way he saved in the Zack Snyder cut one. The way he saved his his future wife. That was Iris West, the black lady he saved from the car.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that was Iris. That was his future wife in the comic.
Oh, okay.
So he was really careful about how he handled it. It's not like in the comics where you just grab her and then go back.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
you're dealing with the Speed Force. It's like that's why his suit was specially treated to handle heat. Because when you go at such a great speed,
Yeah, you burn
you
up.
develop friction. You're gonna burn up.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why his shoes burned up when he
when he
tried to
when he
pivot quickly.
pivoted. Yeah, he
Yeah.
pivoted. Yeah.
That's why he was really careful when he was handling her from the car.
See, that scene is so important,
Yeah,
man.
exactly,
I can't believe that scene was taken out, man. I'm like, that is such a badass scene for Flash. How can you deprive the character with such a cool ass move? You know,
Because people are thinking that it's almost akin to
To what?
silly, harassment. It's like touching a lady without her knowledge.
yeah, well, kind
like
of. He
that.
was saving her life.
Well,
man.
yeah, I mean,
I don't think women
That's
are
why
gonna
people
mind.
are gonna be thinking that way in our 2020 world. You know,
Oh my gosh.
that's why it's one of the things that they remove because it might be construed as something like that.
See, that's the problem, man. That's the problem these days, man. So many people are so fucking scared because of the quote unquote cancel culture and whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, just put it in there, man. The people who don't like it, they're going to complain.
Yeah.
But they already watched the movie. You already
They could-
made your money, man.
They could nitpick all they want, but at the end of
Yeah.
the day, they're still earning like
But the
hundreds,
end of- yeah,
hundreds of
but
millions
yeah.
of dollars.
And at the end of the day, after a while, they're gonna forget about what they were complaining about
Exactly.
because then they would have hopefully they would have conversations with other people and they'd complain about it and people be like, why'd you complain? Well, he's not supposed to touch. Well, he was trying to save her life.
Yeah.
You know, you have to have the conversation. You can just say, cut it. It's like, no, leave it in there and people will discuss it, man.
As long as it's not doing anything illegal, then
I
why
mean,
do you
he's-
remove it?
He's saving her life. He's not raping her.
No.
He's not sexually harassing her, man. He's saving her life. You know, it's like there is.
And you have to understand he's a young guy, who was being flirted on by that girl as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's the
she
first
was-
time that he actually got to see her face and he's in awe. So he's like trying to set aside the hair in order to see her full face.
Yeah.
So that she could marvel at the beauty.
It's like this, man. What I like about the Zack Snyder cut is like, especially with Flash, it's like how would an actual human being with a superpower like this and be in a situation like that with when you're saving a woman that locked eyes with you and you had that
Flirting.
connection,
Yeah.
flirted with you. Wouldn't you do the same thing if you could?
Again,
right?
he didn't do anything illegal.
Yeah,
And then-
yeah. So it's like if you're gonna have a discussion like that with some persons na whatever he touched her without her permission. It's like, yeah, but wouldn't you do the same thing if you had that power and you were gonna help someone where it's like he doesn't have time to think about, am I sexually harassing this
It's a
person?
normal
That's
person.
weird.
You look. It's human nature. When you look at when you see a beautiful person walking by, you tend to look at her. You tend to look at her, and then you suddenly remember that you're not supposed to look, and then you avoid it. But you still look.
Yeah.
So you still did it.
You have
It doesn't
eyes.
mean that you did something illegal, or you're gonna be like condemned for the rest of your life for just giving like a 5-second look.
Yeah.
So it's a normal thing to do, and he saved her in a the most human way.
The most gracious,
Yeah.
romantic way, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, they made something that in the comics would look very mundane and just
Yeah.
saving someone from a car.
Yeah, because a frame in the comics of what the Flash is doing is
it's just one frame.
it's just one frame. Yeah.
It's just one square in the comics. But here, it's like a full, almost 1 minute of just drama and and slow motion, and you're like, oh my god! And of course, the women who are watching that, I'm sure they're killing also.
Yes.
It's like,
They're
oh my
laughing.
god,
It's a funny moment. It's actually a funny moment, because it's a young man ogling over a young woman. So
and actually doing something about it, And then, so I liked how they developed those characters, and then, like I said, a Flash standalone movie has so much potential, man.
Oh my god, man! If people knew the storyline that is associated with the Flash,
that's why
during that one, that's gonna be a killer movie. That's actually gonna be if they do it well, it's gonna be a game changer for DC.
Hey, sisters and brothers, I have a new sponsor, my friends Gary and Marilu from alkalinewatersogood.com. They are international Kangen water distributors. Kangen water is delicious water created from Enagic's innovative water technology. Enagic is a 56-year-old Japanese company with 40 offices in 23 countries, including an office in Manila and 8 offices in the U.S. And it is the leading manufacturer of alkaline ionizers and water filtration machines in the world. Not only do these devices filter your tap water, but they also produce ionized alkaline and acidic waters through electrolysis. These waters can be used for various purposes, including drinking, cooking, beauty, and cleaning. Can you imagine never buying bottled water again? The plastic in bottled water often contains BPA and other chemicals which are proven to be hazardous to your health. And how much fun is it lugging cases of it from the market, recycling it, and plastic is an environmental nightmare. According to Gary, it's also a great way to add an additional income stream. He's been selling machines for over 12 years internationally, and everyone needs the healthiest water in the world. So folks, if you have any questions about Kangen water, check out their website at alkalinewatersogood.com. That's alkalinewatersogood.com. Or you can email them at gary@garyballon.com. Gary Ballon with 2 L's.com.
Because it has all the other characters. It's gonna be the only equivalent that I can think of for that particular one is Civil War, Marvel, wherein it's a Captain America movie.
Right.
But there are a lot of Marvel characters.
Support guys are there.
Yeah, because that's going to be Flashpoint. There are a lot of almost all the DC characters are in it.
They're cameos.
That includes Green Lantern and everyone.
Shit, man. You know what? They should also take advantage of all these other unknown superheroes because they're so cool, man.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
The other DC, the other Justice League or even League of Superheroes. That's another untapped resource. The League of Superheroes, man.
Yes.
There's so many. That's a whole another world.
Mm-hmm.
And then every now and then, Justice League and League of Superheroes, they combine. Putang ina, di ba? That's so epic, man. There's so much potential, and that's why. And I'm sure Zack Snyder's.
Yeah.
If I can think like that, how much more Zack Snyder, who's a real fan?
Because sometimes I have to think, the motivations for studios, why they won't do it. So first thing that comes to mind is budget, for example. But, budget, if you believe in something well enough, it's going to be like Marvel, wherein they really like splurged on that 22 movie saga, And then another thing is, the producers, the ones at the top, they don't grasp the comic books. They think of it as a movie for kids or for nerds or for geeks.
Yeah.
So why, we just show them what they like to see and that's it. They don't really go into the story too much. And that is what Marvel is doing better than DC.
Yeah.
Because they understand, the ones who write the stories understand exactly what the people are looking for.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if they read the comics or not. They know what people are looking for. You want humor? Let's put in humor. You want romance? Let's put in romance. You put action? Let's put in a crap load of action.
Yeah.
You know? So they put everything in that package and they balance it. And then that's why when it gets released, see Ant-Man, I didn't even, like Iron Man, I didn't even think Ant-Man was going to be a worthy movie. I said, how can you make a movie about Ant-Man?
Yeah.
What kind of storyline would you achieve? But it became a funny movie. It became one of the funniest Marvel movies.
I love the Ant-Man movies. I love it. Yeah.
So that's what happened because they put in something that would be appreciated by the people and will, it's not going to be like the comics. They didn't match the comic. That's another thing. Marvel doesn't really follow the comics as much as DC. DC follows the comics more strictly than Marvel.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why. So the Marvel universe is a nice cinematic live action franchise.
Yeah.
But where DC makes it some money is the TV series and the animated films.
Right.
That's where they make their killing.
So, since they make their killing on other stuff, it's like a record company where they sign Taylor Swift to make the big bucks. And then they sign, quote unquote, a more serious band that makes really good music, but it's not commercially, viable as a Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
But then, since Taylor Swift is making the money for the company, they can have a little extra for this other experimental, more serious band. Budget wise.
Yeah.
So it's like, man. I mean, and it's like,
and they're doing the same thing with DC, but it's for example, the money that they get from the Superman and Batman movies, they use it to produce Suicide Squad.
yeah, and there's a new Suicide Squad coming.
Oh yeah, I love that one. I looked at the trailer.
See,
oh my God, man, that was
man,
awesome.
see. There are so many worlds in DC that are so, and it really has to come down to the director and the writer.
It's production.
It has to be really good and badass. It can't. They can't match the. I don't want to say campiness, but the. Because for me, it's like Marvel. It's kind of more Disneyland, whereas DC is more. What would I say? More haunted house kind of thing. More a little, darker. So I think they just treat DC movies in that sense. Now, Marvel is that kind of franchise. We're this kind of franchise. We'll make money. The animation series and the ones that make money, they make money, but then but we have budget to make our own like Godfather movies.
The thing I see about that is Marvel already developed from the start. They have a game plan on what to do. That's why
that was the big thing.
When people look at the Marvel film, they know what to expect.
Yeah,
DC is all over the place.
Yeah,
especially with the Batman Dark Knight series.
Oh
now that's dark. See, that's dark. That's 3 movies of dark. And then you want to turn it into a campy, funny movie in Justice League?
Yeah. You cannot.
You be you. You already develop your character, man. So you stand by it.
Yeah.
You've already developed your persona. So don't try to be, Marvel is having like lots of funny banter. So maybe you should put a lot of funny banter, but that's not your character.
Yeah.
That's what Zack Snyder knows. That's why there's not limited amount of humor in the Justice League Snyder Cut.
Yeah,
because he's going with what the character of DC has already revealed during the last few years.
Yeah,
that's why the comedic Superman sequels didn't work. Superman 1 worked. Superman 2 worked. Superman 3 with Richard Pryor never worked.
Yeah, it never worked.
Superman 4 with Neutron Man didn't work.
Oh my God! I mean, we were young. I was young, and I didn't even. I was like,
because it had John Cryer in it doing like comedic.
Oh my God! I can't even remember that. I can't even remember it.
So that's why Batman 1 worked, but the sequels didn't work. Because
Yeah.
it became ultra campy, ultra funny.
Oh my God! When it was Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jim Carrey, it was getting too
Yeah.
Hollywood, man.
Because it's not the character of DC. DC
Yeah.
is dark.
DC is Francis Ford Coppola, like that.
Yeah, yeah.
The Godfather,
Scorsese, things like that. So
Scorsese. Yeah.
these are art films. These are
Yes.
art films.
Yes, and why not, right?
Yeah.
Why not make a superhero
Justice
series?
League is an art film if you look at it. It's
What?
an art film, right?
Justice League. Oh hell yeah!
That's an art film if you look at it.
Goddamn fucking 4 hours. That's you take balls to like. Here it is, 4 hours. Take it or leave it, man.
Yeah.
The balls on Zack Snyder, pare. But
Yeah.
but he knows it's like everything is in there.
That's why
Everything is in there, man.
yeah, that's one of the reasons why the original Justice League didn't work because it was
Yeah.
trying to incorporate ingredients of Marvel in it.
Of Marvel,
But
yeah.
you can't put a Marvel ingredient in a DC film.
You can't. I mean, it even cheapened Aquaman.
Yeah.
It even cheapened Aquaman. The Aquaman movie with when he battles his brother. It was a little too,
Like
it's
War and
I would-
Peace.
yeah, I mean, I would have. I mean, the battle is great. It's always a great epic battle, but the color scheme is a little too bright. It's a little too,
Or something that's under the ocean, that's pretty bright.
yeah. It was too bright. It was like there's so much color in this. It looks like a Disney movie. It's like no. But
Because
but-
again,
but-
they were going with the ingredients that made the Marvel movies good.
yeah.
They were trying to incorporate it into a DC film.
See, that's the thing now. I mean, that's the thing. It's like I hope that after everyone saw the Zack Snyder cut, I hope they just open their eyes and just be humble enough to say that this is the way to go. It's got to be this one 4-hour epic.
Yeah.
And every now and then, like in the second hour, some random superhero, like
Martian Manhunter.
yes, yeah. When he came out in the end, I'm like, or when he first appeared as the general in Superman,
He has
it's
always
like-
been the
there.
general.
he was always there. So
Yeah.
now, you're like, oh shit.
Yes, exactly. That's a collective.
yeah.
That's a collective. Oh shit! From comic
from
creators, yeah.
Yeah, from everybody, right? It's like, oh, so now you have a new character, Martian Manhunter, who's just as bad. Who's like,
He's OG, man. He's one of the OG Justice League.
yeah, he is OG, yeah.
Yeah.
And then so you have another black character that can have his own standalone movie, and that guy is a good actor to play that character.
And they're not taking advantage of the revolutionary things that the comic achieved. Like one of the second Green Lantern, which was Mr. John Stewart, I think. He's a black
Oh yeah,
Green Lantern. He's
Yeah.
the first black superhero in comic book history.
oh yeah, okay.
So he's very iconic, and they don't want to include him as part of the Justice League or any other movie.
There's some people in that fucking organization that are fucking are like that, man, are like that.
Maybe,
They don't want to, because if you're a true businessman, and these movies are business, pare. And it's like, and even me, I'm not even a fan. I'm not even a comic book fan, and I find it so
Jeez.
badass. It's like
You could imagine a comic book fan like me watching it, man.
Oh, yeah, I know, right?
Seventh
Yeah.
Heaven, man.
So it's like, and then to even take out the focus from Superman because the other superheroes are so strong in their standalone movies that there's no need for a Superman cameo here. Stuff like that. Because always the cameos are always nice to see, but sometimes it's just Tony Montana.
Yeah.
You just need Tony Montana, man. That's it.
Yeah.
And then so that when they actually come together as Justice League again, then Flash is already just as popular as Thor.
See, that's the thing, because I said that the DC universe is dark, right? But
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that you have to be bleak. There's a difference between dark and bleak.
And bleak,
Because
yeah.
one example is Shazam, the Shazam movie. That was fun. That was fun. That's DC.
Yeah.
They could make the same thing with the Flash movie, like that. The new Suicide Squad movie is like that now. It's almost like a Guardians of the Galaxy DC style, So it doesn't mean that you have to go bleak, but you just have to follow the canon. You have to follow the comics because you can't just, regardless of whether or not you're thinking that a lot of people haven't read the comics anyway, so we can change it. You can't just do that because a lot of people are being robbed of additional storylines because if you make it faithful to the comics, people who are actually encouraged to read the comics are not going to see a disconnect. They're going to see, okay, so there's continuity. Yeah, so it's kind of like I don't know, you remember Game of Thrones. A lot of people have read the book.
Yeah.
But they see that the first few seasons were very faithful to the book. That's why they always follow it because they want to see how it translates
to film.
Yeah, it's the same thing with comic book readers. You already capture comic book readers because of that.
Yeah.
So as long as they develop it, good stories, follow the comics, and not disjointed like all over the place like Justice League was.
Yeah.
They could rival Marvel, especially because Marvel just ended their big story arc. This is the time for DC.
Yeah, it's time for DC to fucking take over, man.
Because they ended, Iron Man is dead. Captain America's old and dead, probably. Thor is in another galaxy. So
no, because they started the series of Falcon and Winter Soldier and Captain America's, spoiler alert, Captain America's gone.
So things like that. Just follow the comics, and the thing is, Marvel is actually following the comics on that one right now. Even though it's following the comics. The new Captain America.
See, they're already developing.
U.S. agent. Yeah, he was U.S. agent in the comics. His name, U.S. agent. So
see, they're already developing a black leading character, Falcon.
Yeah,
diba?
You have to go. You have to continue with the. You have to keep up with the times, man. It's no longer like white people superheroes.
Yeah, it's like they're worried about
superheroes. There are women now. There are like a lot of
They're worried about the backlash that Star Wars got when they put Asians and blacks as leading characters. And like, fuck that shit, man. No. Have you seen America? It's not white anymore, pare. Sorry. You have to keep I'm sorry to say, but it's not white anymore. It's mixed. It's diverse. So the movies have to reflect that,
Yeah, that's true. Everyone has
man, to develop let's say cyborg movie, but it's got that Godfather Francis Ford Coppola feel. But it's cyborg. It's still high tech. The CGI is out of this world, but the movie's feel is dark, and it's like, you're riveted because of the feel of the movie. You know what I mean? It's like the Godfather movies are long, but you're riveted to every single scene because it's you can't take your eyes off it. So if they develop a story,
there you go. That's the thing. They have to develop a good story.
A good story that connects to everything. They have to make a big ass,
and there's a crap ton of good stories in the comics that they could go for. But as long as they ignore what will the people like? No, I mean people have been purchasing the comics and reading the comics for a long time. It means that they like the stories. Yeah. So go with those stories.
Go with those.
Don't invent new ones that are not part of the canon.
Yeah. Don't invent unrealistic movies that are obviously catering to the whims of whatever woke is these days, because it's too obvious.
Yeah.
And then when you for me a movie is an escape. You can put some political innuendos here and there, but if the whole feel of it is being woke and being safe so that people don't complain, wala na. You compromised your art.
That is true. Yeah.
You have compromised your art already. It's not worth it. And that's what happened to the second Wonder Woman movie.
They didn't respect the character to give her a good story.
Movies are supposed to be an escape.
Yeah.
So why are you putting in like real life shit?
Yeah, exactly.
It's supposed to be an escape.
So when people 30 years from now will watch the movie, it's like, what's that part they're talking about? I can't relate to that. You know, it's like, diba?
Yeah.
You can't do that, man. You can't put political leanings in your script.
No,
Because it dates the movie. You know? You have to keep the movie neutral, timeless.
Yeah. Exactly. As you said, don't date your movie. Don't make it something that's gonna be, people are gonna laugh at like 20, 30 years from now. Oh, back then they were like, still doing it.
Yeah, no, people are not gonna think like that. They're gonna be like, that scene doesn't make sense. That's all they're gonna say.
Yeah.
And it's like
children are gonna wonder, oh, they do that before? No, you don't need you don't need those questions to arise.
We don't need to let the people of the future in on our stupidity,
That's true, yeah. Because comics in themselves, they're very free of, they're free to use characters anytime they want because they know that back then it's an escape. So people, it's unreal. For example, it's unrealistic for a black guy to lead a group, for example, during the 50s or 60s.
Yeah.
But since it's the comics, it's quote unquote fictional.
Yeah.
People follow it, and using that, they're gonna say, okay, I know this is a work of fiction, but this makes sense. It opens up people's minds. It makes them realize that these fictional situations can actually work in real life.
Yeah.
But you don't do it the other way around.
Yes.
Introduce fiction first and then make it reality. Don't pepper your fiction with reality to begin with.
Yeah.
Just stay fiction.
Just stay fiction,
escape.
Man.
Yeah, stay escape. Yeah.
And if your storyline goes to whatever you want to say, then let it go there. But don't make it. Don't just put it there. Make it work with the story.
Don't bully the story into the.
Yeah. So it's like that's what happens with Wonder Woman. It was a long movie, and then it was like, what's the point of the movie? There was no point. There was really no point to the movie. I don't even remember it. I have to watch it again, but then I have to pay for it. And now I have to pay for it.
Yeah, it was all over the place. I watched it. It was
all over the place, man.
Yeah, it was.
And then even the scenes of Justice League Zack Snyder of Wonder Woman were amazing. The one in the first scene, in the bank, the hostage situation, it was so much better. It was so much better than the original one. Yeah. And then,
because the problem with the studios is they want to go with a 2-hour limit.
Yeah,
that's the thing that they're trying to see. Okay, so I don't care what you put in it, just cut it as much as you can until it becomes a 2-hour movie.
2 hour, yeah.
That's what the studio's rule of thumb is right now. And the problem is the people who made it a 2-hour movie cut the wrong things.
Yeah, and see and the timing is great because now, there's been a surge again of COVID cases because people are so stupid.
People relaxed.
Yeah, people relax. They let their guard down. When things get starting again, everyone's gonna be wanting to watch movies,
including me. I'm one of those.
Dude, you can feed any kind of thing to anyone right now, and they'll watch it. But if you take advantage of that, it's for me, it would be a perfect time for DC to actually point its compass towards that Zack Snyder look, that Godfather 4-hour, 3-hour epic movies where you really get into the character, man. It's not just a comic character anymore. It's like what's in my mind now for the Cyborg movies. Like it's the guy. It's treated like a Godfather movie, but with the CGI of what it needs to be to look as badass.
A serious movie,
a serious or super serious movie. But then the effects are so galing, and the action is just amazing that the movie itself will escape from that drama. And then you come when it's the time for the drama again. It's all serious, and then even the way they would treat the actor would treat the character is just as cold just a cold motherfucker because he is a cyborg.
Yeah, he has a lot of baggage. He just lost
and-
both his parents. So
And instead of this, because I don't know, in my mind, maybe majority of what's running in his brain or whatever that is mostly computer. And this and the humanity side comes out every now and then. Instead of the other way around, where he's a human, then he becomes a computer every now and then. It's like, no, by this time, Cyborg is a cyborg. He's both his parents are gone. He's like, fuck this.
they could develop that as conflict of him trying not to lose his humanity. That's
Yes,
an underlying conflict right there.
Yeah, because like if he starts the movie, like, of course there's always a big fight in the beginning, and then in that battle or whatever,
he kills someone.
He kills someone and he's cold.
Yeah,
he doesn't care. So you're like, oh shit, what happened to this guy?
Someone knocks at his door. It's that person he killed, a relative who's I know you saved the world, but don't you feel any remorse? Just trying to. He's gonna say,
just,
no.
He's just cyborg.
No. I don't feel anything.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a central conflict, right?
Yeah,
there.
and then you have, and then he has like flashbacks of humanity. Stuff like that, man. It makes it more. It makes it deeper, so that. But then when you shift to the times that he has to fight and use his abilities, and especially like in the Zack Snyder when his mask came on like that.
Yes,
dude, they never did that before, man.
No,
they never did it before. It's like, holy shit, that's the fucking money shot right there.
Yeah, they cut it because it only happened once, and it's 5 seconds. So anything that they could cut to make it 2 hours, they cut it.
It was the most badass.
Yeah.
He was flying and like, here we go, man. Cyborg. Yeah. I'm sure I became a Cyborg fan after watching that, and I'm sure a lot of dudes, or everybody, dudes and girls and whatever, they became Cyborg fans because the treatment was longer, the character developed. And he's just a badass superhero, man.
And they gave him meaningful lines instead of the one that he had in Justice League, which is "Booyah."
Yeah, so badooey.
The only thing that's remaining is like hit up like gang signs or something.
Dude, that's so 90s, booyah. Dude, kids are gonna be like, yeah, that's how my dad talks, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's how they talk in 2021, huh?
Yeah. No, the people from now, the kids now, will be like, oh my god, why is he talking like my dad? He's supposed to be a young guy, So. Man, I'm excited for that. I really hope that they.
The Flash film is still under development. I don't know if they already started shooting it. Probably not, because they're probably having problems with the. God, this is always the same problem with DC films. They're having problems with the script and who's going to direct it. There's a lot of people who want to do the script. And there are no people who want to direct it. So
they don't want to direct the script.
They don't want to direct the film because there is no finished script. So they can't choose. Yeah, because they can't choose directors. Maybe they've already chosen one, but they can't choose directors because the directors, knowing the infamy of DC films, they don't want to work with a complete story. They don't want to be tied into a contract to direct a film, and then they find out that the script is crap.
Yeah.
So they're
so that's why the only choice is Zack Snyder.
Yeah,
because he's the one going to fucking write the thing, just like Peter Jackson did with Lord of the Rings. Probably.
WB.
Well, of course, not write it but he knows, like what you said. If you follow the stories in DC, there are pretty badass stories there already written.
Yes,
so
they're already there. They're
already there.
That's what Marvel did with the Infinity Saga. It's one of the biggest stories in Marvel, and they made it into an epic.
Oh, dude, here. I forgot about that. I was going to ask you about this. I had a Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Oh, God, man.
Bro.
Dude, that was the first
if Zack Snyder got
that was in the 80s,
of that.
man. That was the first reset of the DC universe.
Yeah.
It's like that it introduced the multiverse. Earth 1, Earth
Yeah.
2, Earth 50, everything,
Everything, man.
everything where got introduced in that.
There were 5 Supermen, Superboy,
5 versions of
the
Superman.
Lolo Superman.
Yeah, there were 5 several versions of the Flash.
Yeah.
One looked like Mercury,
And then that's my favorite Flash, the 60s Flash.
yeah.
And
So,
then the death of Flash.
yeah, the death.
One of those guys died, right?
Yeah, that's what pretty much introduced me to well, not really introduced, but that's what got me loving the DC series, the death of Superman and the late 80s. That series, because a lot of people nowadays they just go for the book, the compilation, the omnibus.
Uh-huh.
I read it. It was split into several comic books.
Yeah.
I think it was like 20 or 25 comic books. The storyline was split all over those, and I read each one of those.
Yeah, dude. I had a friend who had that back in high school.
Yeah.
And then I saw it. I'm like, what's this? And then it's like, pare. That's everything in DC. and they all die. He goes, and they all die.
Exactly,
I'm like, what? They all die. They all die, man. They all die. And then, oh my God, one of the Flash dies. Supergirl dies.
Supergirl dies. Yeah, that's the biggest event right there. Yeah.
I'm like, wow, what is this? You know, all these lesser characters are killed off. I'm like, wow.
It's one of the biggest ones, Crisis on Infinite Earths, and then the Flashpoint Paradox. And then the other one that's really big that's made into a video game is Injustice. Injustice, Gods Among Us, spoiler.
Yeah.
The Joker, I don't know, hypnotized Superman.
Injustice is the one that's like Tekken, right?
Well, yeah, that's the game. Yeah, that's
the game. Yeah.
No, they showed flashes of Injustice. Well, you remember when the shots were in Superman's floating and then it's closing up to the broken city where the dark side already destroyed everything.
Oh, when he was dying?
No. Yeah. No, when he was weeping over Lois Lane. When Lois Lane nightmare scenario.
Yeah,
remember Darkseid was patting him on the back and he was like crying.
Right.
Because Lois Lane died.
Yeah.
That's the beginning of Injustice. That's Injustice wherein he kills Lois Lane and destroys Metropolis.
Oh my God.
And he becomes bad. And he goes bad.
There is so much, dude.
Yeah. And that's when he goes bad. That's why Zack Snyder is showing that. That's why Superman kept killing Batman. That's the Injustice story arc right there.
Oh.
Because Superman is bad. Superman is like a dictator.
In Injustice.
In Injustice, yeah.
Oh.
That's the Injustice storyline right there. That's why I said Zack Snyder made a fan service movie because it incorporated 3 major storylines in the DC universe right there.
Yeah.
Dark Side War, Flashpoint Paradox, and Injustice right there. All of them in one movie.
See?
Yeah.
There's already 3 avenues of multiple movies you can do.
And that's what he was trying to do, trying to convince them that these are stories that you could, jump off of.
The guys in charge are just stupid, man. They're either stupid or just...
Understand. They don't understand, yeah.
They don't get it, man. They don't get it. It has to be the model is not the Marvel model, but the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings model.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Because he was a fan, and the whole production team, they were all fans, so they knew what was gonna be cheesy and not. Yeah. And they did not do anything cheesy,
Yeah, the subtle parts of the story they incorporated. And then even though there's the temptation to make it like a contemporary, they avoided that desire as much as possible.
Yeah, it's like the reason why Wonder Woman was a great movie because it was in fucking World War II, pare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was the fucking thing, man. It's like, yeah, this is cool. This is what I like. Yeah. This is what I want to see Wonder Woman in, not typical superhero shit. It's World War II. She's fighting Nazis. Diba? It's something different. And then they made it Wonder Woman 1984. It's the most Badoo year of the whole of all 1984, pare.
Well, then again, Van Halen, man.
No, I know, but you know what I mean. Everything else,
yeah.
The hair, the clothes.
Yeah. So I just didn't understand that. I only watched that because it's free, I said, I was thanking myself that this is free because I didn't want to.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
exactly.
buy it. I'm not gonna.
I think that's why they
rent
made it free because they were testing it. It's like, are they gonna fall for this one?
It's kind of like Coming to America too. When I first watched it, I mean, I was expecting a lot of things. It was funny, but it was not as funny as the first one.
Yeah,
That's why I was thankful. I was thankful that it's a funny movie, but it's not as funny as the first one. I'm glad that it's free.
yeah,
I'm glad that I didn't rent it.
yeah. There was this on HBO Max. They have a lot of the animation of the Justice League.
Oh my
And there's-
God, man! Those are the best stories. Those
I
are
know,
the best.
dude. I just
fucking
discovered the
stories, man.
Justice League Dark. Holy fucking shit!
Apocalypse
pare.
War, the Apocalypse War, man. That's
Yeah,
that's part
dude.
of Dark. That's part
I
of
was-
the Dark Side War, right there.
My
It's part
God,
of the arc.
they killed off so many superheroes, pa. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
wait, oh no, you can't kill her. You can't kill him. What?
They
You know,
killed
it's like,
everyone. Yeah.
they killed everybody, and not even dramatically. It's just they're just fighting, and then they lost the fight.
Imagine everyone they're fighting is as strong as Doomsday, so they're gonna die.
I know, man.
And there's a lot of them.
I was like, I can't believe that. I mean, when it's
I
that.
believe DC's gonna kill them.
Yeah,
everyone else.
pare. Because I experienced that feeling with Crisis, when I was back in high school.
Yeah.
And then when I saw it again in Dark Side, like, oh my God, here we go again. They're killing off everybody. Shit.
Yeah.
But-
because
but
that's what I watch. I mean, the Flashpoint Paradox is part of the. I don't know. if
Yeah,
it's
that's where I recognized that flashpoint. Yeah.
Watch that, man. You're gonna. It's gonna be one of the favorite animated DC films. You're gonna.
And you know what I think? Another thing is that I think they should stop putting these DC people on the CW.
You mean the TV series?
Yeah, man, because the CW is for young teenagers, man.
Well, I
It's
think
not
that's
for
yeah. That's
it's
why
like-
they had to change the canon, especially with Smallville. They had to change the canon on that one because they want to cater to the younger people.
yeah.
And if they followed, there's only so much stories in Smallville that you can tell for Superman because even the comics didn't cover Smallville.
But the thing is with the darkness of DC, it's kind of
It's not.
it lends to the times too, because there are dark times. These are darker than usual. I don't want to sound bleak. It is dark, but it's not bleak.
yes.
We're not in dire straits. We're not. There's no comet coming to Earth.
Yeah.
It's not like that. But since Marvel and their movies reflect, hope, Wakanda, stuff like that. DC, I think they have to know their role and be the yang of that yin.
Well, you know what? Why Hope works better with DC because of the contrast. There can't be light without dark. So if you emphasize the dark when the light comes up, you'll appreciate that
You
light
appreciate it more.
better.
Yeah.
Because there's so much dark that happened.
Yeah.
That's why the hope in DC movies is more palpable. You can feel it more, especially in the Batman movies. You could feel it, when something comes up that's good. That's why people love the Batman movies.
Yeah. The Christian
because-
Bale ones.
Yeah. So that's the reason why you do it. In Marvel, they've done it in a good degree, but it's not in every film. It's only in the last few films that they actually did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Because I guess they were gearing up for the big war, and people are gonna die. So we can't be all campy and then bigla na lang, oh, they're all dead. It's like you're killing off my Mickey Mouse. You're like, oh,
Yes.
what? No.
but they're gonna be back eventually. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, during the time, a lot of people who haven't read the comics
I didn't know.
didn't
man.
know that.
I didn't
They
know.
didn't know
I did not know Infinity War at all.
Yes.
Because I never followed it, especially after reading Crisis.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
This is pretty badass, man. I don't want to.
Yes.
Crisis is pretty badass,
And
man.
everyone died. I mean, many of the heroes. The blip happened at the beginning of Infinity Gauntlet in the comics.
Yeah,
The deaths happened later.
yeah.
So that's that's where it shows Thanos killing Iron Man, killing Thor, killing
Yeah.
Spider-Man, killing Wolverine,
Yeah.
killing everyone. Pretty much just killing them. Like making Wolverine's body into jello.
Damn.
Like or covering Iron Man's helmet in ice so that he can't breathe.
Yeah.
And suffocates to death. Those are the deaths in the comics.
Wow. Are the X-Men and Avengers, are they connected?
Yeah, well,
in the
they're in
comics?
Marvel. Because in the Infinity Gauntlet in the comics, everyone of the Marvel.
So even the X-Men are in there.
Yes, X-Men, X-Force, Excalibur, all the X.
Shit, imagine if they included the X-Men and
Yeah, exactly.
oh my god.
Yeah.
Man.
It's one of the things that when they first released Infinity War, I said, okay, I have to temper my expectations because there's no X-Men in this particular part.
Yeah.
The X-Men were a big part of that comic book battle.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Damn. So who was in that gauntlet? Who was like Wolverine was the head X-Men, or was it?
No, it was still Cyclops, but
Cyclops. Okay,
but it was still Cyclops, but Cyclops was no longer there because again, before the battle began,
they were already getting killed.
Thanos did the snap.
Oh, he did the thing.
So half of the Marvel superheroes are already gone before the battle even began.
Okay.
So that's why the battle in the end game, the final battle, for example. Imagine if the other half of the Marvel superheroes didn't come out from the portal.
Mm-hmm.
That was the battle that happened in the comics.
Right.
Only half of the Marvel superheroes battle. That's why you can't see. There was no Cyclops. There was no Rogue.
They were gone.
Yeah, but only Wolverine and the Beast were there. So and same thing with the Avengers. I think Iron Man was there, Thor was there, but the Fantastic Four weren't there.
Oh, they all got wiped out.
They all got wiped out from the snap.
Shit.
So it started at the very beginning, and then the battle happened with whoever was left.
See, that's another thing that I think Marvel made a mistake with Fantastic Four. It's kind of it was done in a weird time, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. The movies of that era were kind of
Dated. The whole storyline for Fantastic Four is dated.
it's dated, yeah. And
It's one of
I
the
don't
first.
know.
They were one of the first Marvel superheroes.
I think they would be a really good makeover. Fantastic Four, na
Modernize
really
it a little, yeah.
modernize it, and really good actors.
Yeah. And they are remaking it. There's a.
Oh, they are. Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's this new Fantastic Four movie. I think in the next 3-4 years. Yeah.
Dude, they have to do Plastic Man, dude.
That's DC.
I know. They have to do Plastic Man if they're gonna do Elongated Man.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, or Mr. Fantastic, right? Or Captain.
Mr. Fantastic is Mr. Fantastic is part of the Fantastic Four, right?
Yeah, he's the stretch guy.
Yeah, he's the stretch guy. Yeah,
Mr.
that's part
Fantastic.
of it.
Okay.
Mhm.
There's another character, Elongated Man. Apart from Plastic Man, and
Yeah,
I
apart from
think
him,
they're both DC.
Yeah. No. Fantastic Four is Marvel.
No. I mean, talking about Elongated Man.
Plastic Man and Elongated Man. You mean?
They're two different characters,
They're two different characters. Yeah.
and I think they're both in DC. Is what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah.
But see, there's another character that you can use, Plastic Man, dude.
And he's a funny character. It could be a funny.
He's a funny character. You don't have to have a standalone, maybe cameo. And people are like,
exactly.
fucking Plastic Man,
Yeah. Kind of like Spider-Man in Civil War. He was a cameo.
Yeah. Or when Civil War happened, when all of them were in the same screen, you're like, oh
Yes, yeah.
wow, it's cool,
Yeah.
man. When you see all the superheroes in the same screen.
Mhm.
I think DC should put out all these other like Hawkman and Hawkgirl. Those are two characters that you can.
I don't really know how the management of Warner Brothers is doing, handling the DC franchise because there's so many missed opportunities. There's just so many characters. They did an experiment with Green Lantern. Since it flopped, they never revisited it. Instead of improving it, they didn't visit it again.
Yeah.
Now, in the times that they need it, because he is one of the first the pioneers of Justice League, they can't suddenly introduce him because it's too big a character. So they just removed him outright, which is bad.
It's another franchise you can improve on because Green Lantern's a pretty cool superhero, man.
Yeah, he's also a funny character. Yeah.
A funny character. I mean, I think they casted Ryan Reynolds. He was good, but then it just comes down to the stories, man.
The script, yeah, the
The
story,
script,
man.
yeah. This is the script, man.
Yeah, it's really bad. Yeah.
Because I mean, when I saw Ryan Reynolds, it's like, yeah, that's Green Lantern, pare. I mean, it's perfect for Green Lantern, you know. But even the humor. But I mean, if you had a ring like that, dude, I mean, that's a pretty cool gadget to have, you know.
That's true. Yeah.
And then, yeah, man. So yeah, I mean, shit. What else?
There's a lot of things that they could have done. I mean, sometimes we wish we're a fly in there's like a board meetings sometimes, so that we know, so that we could sometimes, we wish that we could provide some input, or kind of like the movie Big, wherein they invite someone who actually plays toys in order to make toys. Invite someone, a comic book aficionado, to help with the planning of your stories, instead of just getting like directors for like a.
And they have then the guy's there already. It's Zack Snyder.
Yeah, and it's a guy.
He was made to do this. He was born to do this, man. To make this to make a whole DC, the actual DC universe, man. Yeah. It's like.
And you see the gravitas he has, because the Justice League movie was co-produced by Christopher Nolan, who made the Batman series.
Yeah.
The Nolan Batman series, the Christian Bale series, yo. So this is, this lens. So it means that Christopher Nolan approves of the direction that the Justice League Snyder Cut was going.
Oh, okay. Well, see, right? There you go, man.
That's the same type of film he was making with the
Batman movies. Yeah.
So, and those sold really well.
I mean, like I said before, The Godfather, those Batman movies look like The Godfather. The colors are like The Godfather,
Art films, man. It's bleak. One thing that if you watch the Justice League original, you'll see that the final battle was all in red. The sky was red. The sky was orange.
Yeah.
But in the Snyder Cut, it's dark. It's like a
dark.
Yeah, it's like a dark blue, dark.
Yeah, because they were trying to follow Marvel.
Yes,
with the red sky and all of that,
making it colorful and everything pops out.
Yeah,
like that. Yeah, so that's the mistake that they had. One of them.
And then there was that one shot in the Zack Snyder when all of them were the Batmobile, it's not the Batmobile,
the hero
but the Bat thing.
The hero
shot, and Superman wasn't even in the shot, but it was like, oh my god, ang galing.
I have that as my cover. As my cover image on my
your cover photo.
Yeah, because I love that scene, because it mimics the hero shot that was made in Avengers 2 Age of Ultron, when they were in the snow.
Oh,
they were in the snow. They had that same hero shot, but it was
that's right, the snow in the forest.
Yeah. They have that same kind of hero shot, but it's not as good as the one that they made in the Snyder Cut. So see, that's why I remembered. So this is the hero shot I was waiting.
Yeah,
Justice League. This is the one that
they cut it, pare. I can't believe it, man. The hero shot, you cut it, pare.
They cut the hero shot. Maybe because they couldn't make the effects red on that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because that was Snyder's cut. Yeah,
it's dark.
That's right, man. So, I'm so excited. I mean, and I'm excited actually when I think of the lesser characters in DC. And dami, I can't.
Yeah,
a lot of them.
Ryan Choi, the assistant for Cyborg's father, the Asian guy that owns now, he's Atom in the comic.
Oh, he's Atom.
Yeah, he's Atom.
Nice.
So see, he's already like putting in like little Easter eggs to convince them that there's a lot of storylines you could get just from this one movie. There's a lot of characters that you could pull.
So Atom's character, that's the name of that Chinese guy?
Ryan, yeah, it's his superhero name. He was one of the people who became the Atom. Because I think there's like 4 or 5 atoms.
Oh,
he's one of the atoms, yeah. He's
So imagine this, if they made Zack Snyder, and then of course the culminating film of all of these is Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yes.
Can you imagine that, pare?
Yeah.
You make all these badass movies, and not just of the 5 heroes, but of even lesser, you might get gosh, you might get even lucky with fucking,
Crisis of Infinite Earths introduces, let's say, Brandon Routh returning as Superman.
yeah,
From
you
the
have
other
five.
multiverse.
You have 5 Superman.
Because they did that in the TV series, but they did that in the Flash series. They made it like a but they didn't do it like the same way as the comics. They made their own version of a Crisis in the TV series, and I didn't really like that. I hated that. I hated that storyline because it wasn't faithful to the comics, because it was not dark enough. It was, it's like none of the superheroes really died on that one, unlike in Crisis. So that's why I want a proper movie made. Of, Crisis on Infinite
a
Earth.
serious movie that you're like, oh my god, they killed him off. Oh my
that's
god,
DC's Endgame right there. That's their version of Endgame. Right there.
Yeah, that's their version of Endgame. And the thing is, in Endgame, Thanos snaps his fingers and people dematerialize.
No, that's Infinity War. Yeah. It is
Okay, well, yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
That's how they die. They just dematerialize.
They just disappear.
They vaporize. They vaporize.
Yeah.
But in Crisis,
They get
it's like-
killed.
they get killed.
Yeah.
They get
By the-
killed.
by the
Supergirl gets Supergirl gets beaten the fuck up. It was such a tragic death. And for them, if they can imagine, if they translate that kind of death from that comic into film, putang ina, that would be, kind of that would be art film territory. Because you're pushing it. You're pushing the limit of your audience. It's like, this is the comic. This is how they wrote it. She dies, and she dies really bad.
Yeah.
And this is Supergirl.
At times, there are times when I understand why they can't make it, because just the scope of it, just the amount of characters, amount of payroll, like
the actors, man.
I mean, just how would a $1 trillion film sound to you? For example,
my god,
or like a $500 billion, the gross that the Avengers Endgame made was like, I think $2 billion.
Oh my
Imagine
god.
if that was your film budget. So that's the only way. I think that one of the only ways that a story of that scope could be produced. Yeah, could be produced. It's one of the wet dreams for a lot of.
No, but that's why DC has to really focus on just making badass singular movies, and then a Justice League movie every now and then, where everyone gets together, and then like I said, you can develop, League of Superheroes. There's another whole bunch of characters there. It's just like Avengers and then X-Men. They're 2 different entities.
See, now Disney is also recreating the X-Men. So
see, they're not wasting any time, because they have to. You have to update the actors, with the new generation, the younger generation.
That's why they have if you could see Disney's like a roadmap for superheroes, you see that they have a plan. They have a 10-year, 20-year plan.
Yeah.
That's what DC doesn't have.
They just executed the plan.
They just react.
Yeah. They just react. Yeah.
Whatever is trending,
Man,
Let's see.
it's the
Okay,
worst,
so
man.
Marvel did that. We should do something like that. That's not how you could develop a cinematic universe.
That just goes to show that they don't know what DC is at all.
No, they
because
don't
if
know.
you were a true believer in DC, you'd be like, Marvel can do whatever the hell they want. We're gonna do this.
We have our
We're
own
gonna do
universe here. Yeah.
Yeah, we have our own universe, which has to have its own feel, look, mentality, humor, even the humor.
Yeah, even the humor. The humor is different with DC. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
The
even
humor is a lot like Flash humor.
Yeah,
Like
it's
quip.
like it's just
little,
it's like the humor in Marvel that's really funny to me is
Guardians.
who's the leader of Guardians, the human
Star-Lord.
Star-Lord.
Mhm.
His one-liners, they're cool because that guy he's a good actor to deliver those one-liners. But aside from that, there's not much humor in Marvel.
No.
Also, but in DC, like my favorite line in DC was when they first fought together, when Superman dies.
Yeah.
And then Wonder Woman, they first see Wonder Woman. When, it's like, and then Superman goes to Batman. She with you? And he's like, I thought she was with you.
Or Flash saying, asking Batman, in the Snyder Cut, do you think she likes younger women?
Yeah. He was
like
hitting
subtle humor like that.
And then even the end of the movies, the Josh Whedon one was Superman and Flash racing.
Yeah, a race.
Oh my god, dude! You can have the thing is, it's a cool thing to have Flash and Superman race, but not like that. Not the finale of that kind of a movie. But the finale of the Zack Snyder one is just the Flash.
Yeah, just the Flash.
And you see him become happy.
Yeah,
when he smiles.
Yeah, it's a hint for the next movie. Yeah. It's just prelude to his movie.
Exactly. It's like, but with the race with Superman, it was like a Disney movie, a Disney end. It was like a Disney ending,
cartoon ending. Yeah,
a cartoon ending. It's like happily ever after. It's like no, DC's not never happily ever after, dude. It's a constant struggle, dude.
But I think one of the things that they didn't explain there is, a lot of people are asking, okay, so why did Superman have that black suit now?
Yeah.
Why didn't he go to his regular suit?
Yeah.
And again, for those who read the comics, they know why they didn't explain.
Why is that? I don't
Well,
know.
no, the black suit is a healing suit.
Oh.
It allows him to absorb the sun.
Oh, the sun. Okay. Oh.
Because he's healing. Because he just came from the dead.
No, yeah. So
he's
the
trying
black
to
suit
absorb.
is more.
That's why there's a scene of him on top of the earth just bathing in the sun.
Yeah, with the suit.
That's the reason why he has the black suit.
The black suit is faster healing than the
for
red.
healing. Yeah, it absorbs the sun like any other black fire garment that we have.
That's right. Okay,
so that's the reason why, and they didn't really totally explain. That's why they, the original cut said it's too much trouble to explain to the people why we should have a black suit. So let's just have him get the regular one again.
See, but that's the thing. You have to be old school like Scorsese and Coppola and say, no, we have to treat the audience like they're smart people.
Yes, exactly.
They're gonna get it, man. Mm-hmm. And if they don't get it, there's Google anyway.
There's Wikipedia.
It's like type in why is Superman suit black? You're gonna get the answer right away in 1 second, Patty.
And the thing is, this is Warner Brothers. They have a lot of Warner Brothers extended universe cartoons that they could, point to.
Yeah.
If they stayed with the comic books, it promotes their property.
Yeah.
It allows people to be more enthusiastic about soaking in the story of the DC universe.
And and then you can. And this is how you develop talagang loyal true fans. It's when you stick to the stories. You're like, putay na. Okay. It's like, okay, I'm gonna stick with these guys because they're serious. They're not campy. There's no foot race with Superman. It's because it's so predictable. It's such a predictable thing. Maybe they can do it as a small scene in the middle of an epic movie, but not the finale. It's not. It's just like, so who's gonna?
It doesn't make sense because
they can just run. They can run forever, pare.
Well, no, and then the Flash will always win. He's the Flash. He's the fastest man alive. He could.
Well, Superman's not a man.
Well, no, but he could run faster than the speed of light.
Oh,
that's the thing. That's one thing Superman can't do. He can't run faster than the speed of light.
But can he fly faster than the speed of light?
No, he can't. That's one of the things. That's one of the things that Superman is unable to do.
He's not as.
He could go at the speed of light, but he can
not
go faster than the speed of light. That's the thing. So that's why comic book readers will always know that Flash will win. That's why it's useless to point it out. Maybe as fan service to fans, but the fans who will appreciate it will not believe that Superman.
No, but then you can let's say you put the race in some scene, no?
Yeah, I guess that's
and then they talk about it as an incidental, and then the next I don't know one other scene would be them talking about the race and talking about, well, Flash wins.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like, and then
Kinda like
I don't know, something like it's like they'll ask Clark Kent, hey Clark, why can't you beat this guy? then he'll just say, it's like a shit. I can't
Yeah.
like say what you said. It's like I can go about the speed of light, but not faster. But he can. And then there you go. So problem solved. Everyone now knows, diba?
Yeah, as an incidental, as like some sort of like as what he was doing as fan service. It's not
Yeah.
going to be like a finale, but as a incidental, as a like an aside, like an ad lib, for example.
And especially with movies like this, you want there to be another movie, man.
Yes.
It's like when Star Wars, when Empire came out, or when Star Wars came out, and then it's like, oh my God, more movies. You gotta have more movies.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. And then what else did I? Oh, and Spider-Verse was awesome.
Spider-Verse, yeah. Spider-Verse is awesome.
That was awesome, dude.
It shows the multiverse of Spider-Man character.
Yeah.
It's I don't think they're gonna make a movie out of that because it's already like a CG movie, but I think they're gonna be spin-offs on that one.
Well, I think it was great as a CG movie.
Yeah.
They can actually develop that character, Miles Morales. You know.
Unfortunately, there are some executives who will only cast a half black, half Hispanic.
Oh my God! Right?
In a cartoon movie.
It's so friggin' complicated when it doesn't have to be.
Yes.
It's like when I don't know what the mentality is when you hear a name like Miles Morales. When I hear a name like Miles Morales, it's like, God damn, that's a goddamn badass name.
Yeah.
Miles Morales. It's
someone
like,
you can connect to because it's a common last name that you hear from your neighbors or your friends.
yeah, and then he has his first name is cool. So yeah, he's a cool dude. It's like, why can't you have that mentality instead of Morales or Morales?
Morales.
They can't even say Morales. Yeah. It's like Morales.
Yeah, if we use Morales, we're only going to be catering to the Hispanic,
Yeah, but
viewers.
that's
the white
the
people are
problem.
not going to be able to relate. So what the hell, man?
It's like too bad, man. It's like I said, it's not America's not all white anymore. There has to be a Miles Morales, or else they wouldn't be telling the truth.
Yeah. Exactly.
If it's Miles Johnson, well, that's a black name. Let's say, what's a Miles McCormick? That's a very white dude. It's like
he's very indicative of America nowadays. His parents are not. He takes the last name of his mother, not his father.
Of his mom.
black.
Yeah.
His father's black. He's a policeman.
Why did he take his? Is it his stepfather? Or no.
Because they're not. Because I guess the mother was the one who took care of him. I guess.
The mom raised him.
Yeah, mom raised him. But I think his father right now. I don't know if I'm remembering. It's not his real father.
Oh, the cop? It's not his real father?
Probably, yeah. It's not his real father. His dad was black. His dad was black, but not that black man.
Oh, okay.
That's why he has his mother's last name.
Man, see, that was great what they did with that with Miles Morales, because then there's an alternate universe of Spider-Man now that you can trip on, and that Hispanic people can relate to.
Yeah.
Who probably can't relate too much with Peter Parker. Although the character is relatable because he's a young kid.
It's relatable to teenagers.
We've all been teenagers. That's why we can relate. But if you have a Miles Morales, well, there you go. If you're Puerto Rican or Mexican or Hispanic,
he grew up in the projects.
He grew up in the projects in New York.
He's an outcast because he's a smart mixed race person.
Yeah.
Who is in school with white people,
Yeah.
not people who look like him. So that's why it's one of his problems. So he can't relate. So those are the characters that are relatable to a lot of Americans. Right.
See, those are the things. That's what I'm saying. It's like you don't have to squeeze in a political agenda to make a point.
Yeah,
it's already there. Miles Morales' life is already as political can be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he's mixed race, he's black and Hispanic
Yeah.
in the projects,
Yeah.
stuck with white people. He's out of place, man.
Studying with white people in an academy, in a private school.
In a private school with uniform.
White people because he was too smart. He got the scholarship.
Yeah, exactly. So everything about his life is out of place.
Yes.
And somehow that is relatable. Especially, I mean, anywhere. So
The feeling of not belonging.
or just being like, not belonging. Actually, that's what it is. It's just the feeling of not belonging. It's like,
And it's one of the things that you can always put in something RL without being obvious about it. Zack Snyder put it several times. Like I think I read in one commentary that remember that scene where he was taking a Flash in his car, and then he said that his superpower is he's rich.
yeah.
Right? And then the car took off.
Oh, the Mercedes. Oh, that fucking car, pare.
So in the original film, they cut it after that.
Yeah, they cut it after that.
Snyder, they showed them going into the on-ramp and into the freeway.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The billboard on the wall says you're not alone. It's about suicide. It's a suicide awareness. Because Zack Snyder's daughter, Autumn.
Oh, that's how she died. Oh, she
took her life.
Oh, damn.
That's why. That's one of the reasons why Zack Snyder stopped with the original.
Yeah. Because she's here. Yeah, I didn't know that was the cost. Oh,
Yeah.
fuck, that's heavy, bad.
There are several things there that are littered that are related to that one, but it's not that obvious.
It's not obvious. Yeah.
Even when Cyborg said, at the very end, wherein the people in the cube are saying, you will not be broken anymore. And he said, I am not broken.
Yeah, I'm not broken. Yeah.
That's also an allusion to suicide prevention. So there are a lot of little things that are littered.
No, that's right. Yeah. No, I when he said that, it's like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm not broken. I accept who I am. I am what I am.
Yes. So
And I'm not broken.
One of the things that are being dealt with people who have depression.
See, that's why Zack Snyder is the perfect guy to do DC, because he experienced it in his own life.
Yeah.
He has his own darkness, and he can transform that sadness, that darkness into these movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in subtle ways, not in your face.
Yeah, not in your face, but I mean the feel, because he knows already. He has his own personal tragedy.
Yeah.
So he knows, okay, I know how Superman feels when Lois Lane dies, or whatever, or my
That's why they kept alluding to it. That's why I was so excited. I was hoping that they do these storylines, because even when there are some scenes where Flash from the future is saying that Lois was the key. Lois was the key. He kept reminding that Lois was the key, because that's what starts Injustice when Superman kills Lois accidentally, and he kills the Joker for tricking him, and that pretty much starts the whole cycle of Superman being the bad guy and wants to rule the entire Earth.
Oh wow!
So that's why Lois was the key. That's the catalyst.
In the story, is there redemption for Superman? Or no. Yeah.
Death.
Oh shit! He dies again, pare.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
Well, I don't know, death or exile, because I'm trying to remember, because it's I read this like a long time ago,
but he dies as a bad guy.
No. He gets redemption.
So he does get redemption.
He gets redemption. I think he was I can't remember if he exiled himself or he was killed, but he achieves redemption. But there are a lot of people who got killed along the way.
Shit.
So it's like Batman versus Superman amped, because Batman is the one leading the ones that are against the forces of Superman.
Wow, shit.
Injustice is them, like a whole series of comics against each other.
Wow.
So that's one storyline that Snyder kept embellishing in that movie, especially in the nightmare sequences.
Yeah.
All the nightmare sequences are Injustice.
That's right. Okay.
So that's why it's almost exciting and depressing at the same time, because it's exciting because you know that the director recognizes that there are these storylines.
Yeah.
Shows you hints and taste of it.
Yeah.
But it's depressing because you know that the studios might not
do it. Yeah. Shit.
That's why it's a mixed feeling right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Right now, I think everyone who saw that Zack Snyder cut is feeling the same way.
Yeah.
Nah, it's like, I putang ina. Shit,
The things
man.
that could have been, the things that could be.
Yeah.
May not be.
And that's why like I said, I hope the executives are open-hearted enough to acknowledge that. Now, Zack Snyder is the person for this. Just as Francis Ford Coppola was the one to direct The Godfather and Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder has to do the DC movies,
Yeah. He just has to, I think he only needs a sympathetic voice within management, within the top brass. Because
Yeah, man.
if everyone hates him, it's gonna be hard. It's an uphill battle. But if there's just one sympathetic voice, the way that George Lucas had it in Star Wars, there was that one voice. There was that one voice in management that convinced them to budget and help produce Star Wars. That's what made it possible, because there's that one sympathetic voice.
That one guy.
Snyder needs it in Warner Brothers right now.
Well, on that note.
Yep. It was a great nerdy discussion.
Oh my God. I love it, man. I love it. I mean, because I'm not learned as others with regards to comics. I'm
well, learned is a wrong word. More like informed.
informed. Okay, I'm not as informed as others.
Yeah.
And man, the more I learn, the better. I always like learning from stuff that I have no idea about.
Likewise, yeah. I know, right? Likewise, yeah.
Yeah, and let's hope that that happens. It's going to be fun, man.
I'm just excited that there's the possibility.
Yeah.
There's the possibility, and that we got to see it. That's why it's a lot of fan service, because a lot of DC fans weren't expecting to see those nightmare scenarios in their eyes. At least they see hints of what could have, even if it's not produced. At least they got to see Superman killing Batman, or these little things like a desolate Earth with Superman. With Superman as a dictator and things like that.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm gonna watch the movie right now again, and I'm gonna end at 2 a.m.
If I could, my recommended the animated ones are really the best ones.
Yeah,
you can experience it. Justice League.
I'm gonna try Flashpoint now.
Flashpoint, yeah. Flashpoint is a good start. And then just follow it up with whatever, because everything starts at Flashpoint, because he resets the multiverse.
Okay, and then what did you say about Justice League Dark? That's
Dark Apocalypse War. That's the name.
I saw that. What's that? That's the start of
that's the real. No. Injustice was never put in animation.
Oh, okay. So that's a standalone thing.
That's the end. That's the end of the dark side. That's the end of what started in Justice League War. That's the second one after Flashpoint Paradox.
Okay.
After Flashpoint Paradox, there's Justice League War.
Mm-hmm.
And you can skip everything else and then just jump to Apocalypse War. But that's the end of that whole series.
That whole saga. Okay.
Yeah, the whole saga, yeah. So all the animation that you see in HBO Max is pretty much part of that. That's their Infinity Saga in animation.
Okay.
Infinity Saga.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate this time that you.
Me too, man.
Man.
Please support DJ Tulisan here, and he's got a podcast. What's the name of it? Well, go ahead. What's the name of the podcast?
Okay, DJ Tulisan. I have a podcast. More like a shoutcast called Pinoy Rock USA. It's in hiatus for the last 3 months, but it's going to be back in the next couple of weeks. So
nice.
Look out for it. It's in Spotify, and you can also visit our Facebook page. Just type in Pinoy Rock USA and then follow, subscribe, or whatever. Okay, thank you.
All right. Thanks, Tolitz. I'll see you soon, man.
Yeah, thank you very much to Wolf's Den. Keep following Wolf. Interesting
right.
lagi conversations nito. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, man. All right. I'll see you soon, bro.
See ya.
Ingat.
Bye-bye.
Bye.